York City and Canada, and has performed at venues such as Foxwoods, Rhine Theater, and Birdland. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Linda Calise.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the Rockies' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Here to throw out the ceremonial first pitch this evening is Gatemen organization member Tom Crane. Tom serves on the executive board and is head of security and is also celebrating a birthday. When you're ready, Tom, let's see a pitch.
Good frame job from Oliver. All right, you can start whenever. I'm ready to go.
Here tonight to say those two famous words we've all been waiting.
Welcome on into Spillane Field. My name's Henrique DeMore. To my right, J.D. Rocci. And in front of us, the Wareham Gatemen get ready to go against the Chatham Anglers, a rematch of two teams that played each other on opening day at the home of the Anglers last time as a Veterans Field. And, of course, you remember that one. Heck of a start to the season for the Gatemen. 12-4, the start of them on their 4-0 run and a 5-2 week on the season, capped off by a doubleheader split to Orleans back on Sunday. Had an off day yesterday, but today Chatham is a new and improved team, it seems like. They struggled through the early goings of the season, but now they sit atop the East standings with a 4-2-1 record. JD, this team does a lot of things well, but it starts with the offense for them.
Yeah, the offense is great. You look at guys like Spencer Torkelson and Tristan English having great seasons. Torkelson 7 for 22 with 3 home runs and 8 RBIs. Pretty much the exact same stat line as Andrew Vaughn for Wareham. Then you look at Tristan English. He's 8 for 19, an even better batting average, a double and 3 RBIs. Then you even look at a guy like Ben Ramirez, somebody that we didn't really expect to have a stellar season coming into the Cape League, but he has been great, and he played really well against Wareham, picking up a couple of hits in that opening day matchup. So this Chatham lineup from top to bottom, Torkelson's going to be in the 3-hole today, English batting 5th, and then right behind him, Ben Ramirez. Top to bottom, this lineup hits pretty well. So when you get guys on base and you steal bases the way Chatham does, they're 12 for 16 this year, leading the league in stolen bases. It's a dangerous offense to deal with, and it's kind of a deviation from what we had seen from Chatham under John Schiffner. Last 2 seasons, they were second to last in stolen bases, and then in 2015 was dead last in stolen bases in the league. So they're calling them the running anglers this season. They move around the base paths, they move quickly, they're aggressive, and their bats are really, really good.
Yeah, not a lot to dislike about this Anglers offense. Their pitching is also pretty darn good. They've got a .290 team ERA. That's good for second in the Cape Cod League. But batting average-wise, you mentioned all the offensive statistical categories that they lead in, but a .251 clip for the Anglers is only good for 7th on the as far as all 10 teams in the Cape League. Going right behind them, the Gatemen with a .242 batting average. But here comes Greg Jones, a guy who is a speedster from UNC Wilmington. He's having himself a pretty good year this year as well, batting .263, 6 run scores. That's good for most on this Anglers team. He's doing his job out of the leadoff spot. Ball one low. Bats from the right side, the freshman, as I said, from UNC Wilmington. On the bump, Ken Waldachuk winds up, fires a ball low, so 2-0 to Jones. Waldachuk, his second appearance of the year. Pitched against Harwich, that 3-2 walk-off win. Seems like so long ago, as ball 3 is now delivered on the outside part of the plate. And Waldachuk had 6 strikeouts and no walks against Harwich back on the 13th last Wednesday. Get me over fastball, hits the outside corner. Waldachuk 1 earned run on 4 hits through 4 innings of work. Gave up 1 double. Swing and a miss. Good pitch following that 3-1 fastball on the outside corner.
Good elevated fastball that time from Waldachuk. This kid had an incredible season at St. Mary's, a 2.05 ERA, 23rd best ERA in the country.
Rip and a miss. He got him on strikes. First of the day for Waldachuk. We mentioned how he had 6 on the in his last appearance. And it's looking like it might be more. Started off with a strikeout of Jones, and that one brought to you as always by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard. Here comes Brandon Fryman. I can't read my own handwriting. My apologies. Brandon Fryman from Samford. Shortstop today for the Anglers. Takes strike 1 right down the middle of the heart of the plate. Infield straight up. Next pitch doesn't miss by much, 1-1. It'll be Fryman, then Spencer Torkelson waits on deck. He's the talk of the town, as he was this whole year, and he's continued his success on the Cape as he fouls that one into the dirt, 1-2. I'll tell you more about him when he comes up to bat. 1 on, nobody out, 1-2, outside 2-2.
We saw Waldachuk kind of mow through the Harwich batters the first appearance. Now he's not becoming labored here quite yet, but the pitch count is getting a bit high through the first 2 batters. Like to see him settle in, start throwing a couple more strikes here early in counts.
On the windup, the 2-2, breaking ball, well placed, but not enough of the plate caught. So the count runs full. And he's got that looping breaking ball that couples well with a hard fastball. Full count, he lost him. That one up at the neck level of Braden Fryman, so he's aboard with 1 out. And here comes Spencer Torkelson, about the last guy you want up to bat with any sort of runner in scoring position or in any position on the base paths. Led the entire country as a freshman in home runs, 25 of them out of Arizona State. Breaking ball misses outside, pops out of the glove of Roscom down behind the plate, but is able to chase it down towards a Wareham dugout. 1 ball, no strikes.
Just doesn't seem like Waldachuk is keyed in quite yet. He's missing the strike zone with pitches he usually is able to get over for strikes. So, like I said, just calm down, play your game, pitch well.
Misses again with that one, 2-0, one with the fastball that time. Yeah, no, to your point, JD, I mean, when you see a team like Chatham, it's a team that they saw before. Joey Matulovic got the start in game 1 of the season against Chatham, so he's seen them before. Waldachuk missing badly with that one, 3-0.
Looks to me like he's not quite following through. He's letting the ball go a little bit early, and that's why he's missing on that outer half to right-handers coming from the left-handed arm slot. He can just take a deep breath, follow through, and pitch just the way he knows how to. As he issues a 4-pitch walk, he should be fine, but right now he's struggling a little bit to find the zone.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the rest of the start necessarily for Waldachuk, but given that he went 6 strikeouts, no walks in 4 innings of work against Harwich, 2 walks and 1 strikeout, recording 1 out is a little concerning. But I imagine he'll bounce back. But we talked about it a little bit on the pregame show about how the Gatemen can't afford to be giving up as many early leads as they have been recently. First pitch, good fastball, swing and a miss. Adam Fogel from Hawaii.
That's what you need from Waldichuk. Be aggressive, throw strikes, get swings and misses, get ahead in the count, and then work your magic from there.
Fogle finished up his sophomore year, the Rainbow Warriors of Hawaii. Breaking ball misses upstairs. Yeah, the elevated fastball has worked when it's hit. And I can only count one good breaking ball. That was on 2-2 to Greg Jones. But everything else he's left up in the zone a little too much, and now the Chatham Anglers batters, they can just settle in here and watch a bunch of pitches go by. 1-1, both runners take off, fouled off, so they will retreat 1-2.
You can keep that foul ball, courtesy of attorney.
Apparently, Brendan Fryman is not used to this stone dust here at Spillane, because he tried to slide head first and stopped about a foot in front of the bag.
Yeah. Well, for his sake, it's probably good he got a little bit of a trial run there as Fogle fouled the ball off.
At least he knows what's going on now, because this stone dust not super conducive to head first sliding.
No.
And Chatham's going to quickly find that out. Good pitch.
Got him right on the low outside corner. Second strikeout of the day for Waldichuk. Now here comes Tristan English, senior from Georgia Tech.
Number 12, Tristan English from Georgia Tech.
Batting .421 on the year. That's not too bad. It's good for the highest average on this Chatham Anglers squad. And again, no statistical anomalies. This is his 7th game played with the Anglers, and this is the Anglers' 8th game total. First pitch to him, breaking ball, really well done. That's the breaking ball we want to see out of the hand of Waldichuk.
He's done a good job the last two batters now. Get ahead early. Throw a first pitch strike. Because when you get to 0-1, then the at-bat becomes yours. If you can get ahead in the count, the at-bat becomes yours, and you can pitch the way you want to, not the way the hitter wants you to.
Another fantastic breaking ball. Started about belt high and dropped to knee level. Strike 2.
Like to see an elevated fastball this time from Waldichuk?
No, 2 low breaking balls coupled with a high fastball. I think he's in business. He got a couple good swings and misses on it already this inning. I see no reason not to try it here.
And Tristan English is a good batter, so maybe leave it a little bit up out of the zone if you can.
That one dribbled over to Stott at short, long throw. Got him. That'll leave 2 on the bases for the Anglers. They threaten but do not score. Ken Waldichuk pitches out of a jam in the first. We go to the bottom of the first inning, scoreless at Spillane on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Shop from home year-round on Gatemen.org. You can customize your Gatemen gear from any device, anywhere. We offer a large selection of apparel and unique gifts 24/7, 365. Hard to find sizes, colors, and styles. Youth Clinic registration is also available. Visit us today and remember us for holiday gifts at Gatemen.org. Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, with 2 acute care hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org. Cape Cod Healthcare, expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care.
Mezzaluna is a family-run Italian restaurant celebrating 80 years in business. Located on Main Street in Buzzards Bay, Mezzaluna specializes in Italian cuisine, a lunch menu that's the best deal in town, and serves Cape Cod's famous prime rib every Wednesday and Saturday. Come enjoy the feast at Mezzaluna, the Italian family restaurant.
Welcome back. Bottom of the first inning here at Spillane. Scoreless after Ken Waldichuk walked 2 but struck out 2 and was able to get out of a jam, work through the top of a very dangerous Chatham Anglers lineup. Now here comes the offense for Wareham. They will face on the hill freshman from USC, University of Southern California, righty Kyle Hurt. Hurt had a pretty average year at USC, was a starter, started 14 games, 16 appearances total for the Trojans of Southern California, a .476 ERA. Not too many strikeouts, a lot of walks. Strikeout to walk ratio at about 3-2, which isn't necessarily where you want it to be. So I think we talked about it on the pregame show a little bit, but a slightly revamped Gatemen offense would be well served to get out ahead of things early. Let the pitch count rack up, take advantage of Hurt here early. UCLA sophomore Jeremy Idens, and first-time Gateman, his first look at any action here in the Cape Cod League in the leadoff spot. After batting .351 his sophomore year at UCLA, He's one of 2 Gatemen who are seeing action for the first time all summer in this lineup today. Takes ball 1 up and away.
First time this summer, but he's used to playing in a summer league with wooden bats. Played in the Northwoods League last season with lacrosse.
Strike right down the middle. Good hard fastball out of the hand of Hurt. Puts Idens at 1-1. And his freshman campaign was no joke either. Hit .280. Check to swing. No appeal is made. Action appeal is made late to the first base umpire. They say no. So 2-1. No outs, bases empty, scoreless in the bottom of the first inning. Second meeting of the year between these 2 teams. Gatemen took game 1, 12-4, back on June 12th. Rip and a miss. Good, looked like a changeup. Came out hard out of the hand of Hurt. He swung over the top of it, got a little bit of a piece of it, 2-2.
We talked about in the pregame show how the Pac-12 is a premier conference in the country, and Idens hit well and was even on the All-Pac-12 team this season. And, you know, the Pac-12 is one of those conferences that doesn't have first team, second team, third team. It's you're either All-Pac-12 or your honorable mention. That's it. And Idens found himself in that select few players from the Pac-12 from that West Coast part of the country. Found himself on the list, and for good reason. I mean, 353 this season, 72 hits, 16 doubles, 4 triples, 6 home runs, slugging percentage at .559. The OPS is around in the high 900s, right in the 970, 980 range. So a really, really good season for Jeremy Idens, and he's one of those guys that we talked about him and Lael Lockhart, who will be coming up 5th in this order for the Gatemen. Very excited to see them in Wareham. Yeah,
those numbers are elite. Gets a piece of that one, fouls it straight back, 2-2. Idens took an extended trip to the dugout as the pitch he fouled off on that high breaking ball. Looked like it nubbed off the end of the bat, and he didn't like the way the bat felt afterwards. Doesn't take much to break bats, especially when guys are throwing as hard as they are. He got a little bit of wonky contact, but he's got a new bat ready to go, 2-2, fouls it off again, already driving up the pitch count on Hurt. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up. .225 ERA in 1 appearance this year. Hammers that one high and deep into left field. Jeremy Idens off the wall in his first at-bat in the Cape League, in there with a stand-up double. Screeching around second. Fogel plays it off the wall, and the Gatemen are in business early.
What did I say pregame? I said I wanted to see these new guys gel, and that's exactly what Jeremy Idens does. I thought that one might have had a chance at getting out, but center field, left center field, pretty deep here at Spillane, 412 to dead center, and then 315 down the line. So when you figure that, you'd probably say around 380 to left center.
Yeah, I say 380, 390.
Something along those lines. So he hit that ball incredibly hard, and he pulled into second with a leadoff stand-up double. That's how you get your Cape League season started.
Yeah, no cheapos. From even down the line, it's pretty deep, right? 330 down the right field line, 315 down left field line. That one in the dirt to Isaac Collins. Finds himself back in the lineup after injuring himself. He fouled one off his knee in the loss against Harwich. First loss of the year for the Gatemen. A game that saw them produce just 4 hits. It was a not a good offensive showing for the Gatemen, but the pitching backed them up. They lost 2-0. One of the more painful losses of the year. But there only have been 2, as that one's in the dirt, 2-0. But Collins, a great guy to have in your 2-hole. I think he has every characteristic you would want out of an ideal 2-hole hitter. Hard contact guy, doesn't strike out a lot, patient in counts, racks up walks, and he's speedy on the base paths. Just a high IQ guy. A sophomore from Creighton that also played in the Northwoods League last year and saw Jeremy Idens probably 12 times over the summer as Duluth and La Crosse played each other a bunch. 2-0, chops it down over the right side. Arenas fields it on 2 hops, gets it over to Hurt to retire. Isaac Collins, productive AB, though, with 1 out. Jeremy Idens sits just 90 feet away.
Those are the kind of if you're going to produce outs, those are the kinds of ones you want to get going for the Gatemen. I mean, Isaac Collins, not a well-hit ball by any stretch of the imagination, but pulls Spencer Torkelson off the bag. He has to make a good play. Collins has speed dead in line. That play could have easily gone the other way, and even though it did produce an out, as he said, Idens up to third, and with probably the best hitter, at least throughout the collegiate season, at the plate in Andrew Vaughn. We've seen Austin Shenton have a stellar Cape League season, but Vaughn no slouch either. The 3 home runs, 8 RBIs for him.
No, he's been an absolute stud. Broke out of a 1-for-11 in a big way in the doubleheader loss to New Orleans. Sends that one deep into right field. Torkelson ranging back on it. He looks up, and you can say goodbye to that one. Back-to-back home runs and back-to-back at-bats for Andrew Vaughn. What slump, JD? What slump? What is a slump when you're Andrew Vaughn and can just, wow. I mean, that didn't look like it was that well hit off the bat. It looked like it might have been a flyout.
Spencer Torkelson knew it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's our vantage point, but Spencer Torkelson took maybe 2 steps back toward the wall, and it cleared the fence easily. We talked about it right there.
Yeah, we saw it right there. My goodness. And that home run for the Gatemen brought to you by Eastern Propane and Oil, another scholarship donated to the Gatemen Youth Clinic by Eastern Propane and Oil. And more relevantly right now, 2-0 Gatemen. And here comes Brian Packard, another feared batter in this lineup. Chops one right side. English steps on first. That'll be 2 outs. Bases empty for Lyle Lockhart Jr., the sophomore from Houston, in the designated hitter spot, batting where Parker Phillips usually bats in the DH spot from Austin P. Lyle Lockhart Jr. batted in the high 290s his sophomore year at Houston. Will get his first crack at Cape League pitching. Strike at the knees to Lockhart. Austin Shenton waits on deck. You can find him at the 6th spot in the lineup after an absolutely torrid stretch these last couple of games. Fouls one straight back, 0-2. Figured it was just a matter of time before he got moved up in the lineup, huh?
I mean, I liked him in the 8-hole. I like a little power, a little bit of average down in that spot, but I have a lot of faith in Don Snedden, moving him up. Get things going in the middle of that lineup, and welcome to the Cape League, Lyle Lockhart, a single for him to right field.
And JD, your keys to the game looking pretty prophetic here. The new guys are doing well. Base hits and first at-bats for Jeremy Idens at the top, and the 5-hole Lyle Lockhart. So Austin Shenton's got a man to work with on base. Third baseman from FIU comes into today with the highest batting average in the entire Cape League, 474. He's an everyday player too, so it's not an inflated number.
Even in the one game he didn't start, came through with a pinch hit single against Harwich. He's been the best hitter in the Cape League this season.
First pitch strike, low and outside to the lefty Shenton. Two 2-0 Gatemen. Andrew Vaughn goes deep to score Jeremy Idens, who was sat on third after Isaac Collins moved him over. 0-1 misses inside. Sable behind the plate from USC was ready with it and keeping an eye on Lockhart over at first.
An all USC battery today for Chatham to start the game. A lot of familiarity between Kyle Hurt and Blake Sable.
Checked his swing on that one, didn't miss by much. An appeal is made down to the second base umpire. Nothing doing though, so Shenton survives. 2-1 count, man on first. 2-0 Gatemen. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Moderate sized lead for Lockhart at first. English holding him on. Chop down the right side. Fair ball. That might even get a run in. No, it will not. Holding up at third is Lockhart, and Shenton in there with a stand-up double. You saw both umpires kind of look at each other, say, was that fair? And someone finally made the call that, in fact, it was, and I think that was the right call. It might have skipped over the bag, but that is in fair territory. So now with 2 outs, the Gatemen still got the offense going. 7th man to bat in this inning. It's Bryson Stott, the sophomore from UNLV. He's been a really consistent presence in this 7-hole in his own right. He's got 2 men in scoring position with 2 outs.
I think both of our keys to the game are coming to light pretty quickly here. You said you wanted to see the Gatemen jump on top of Kyle Hurt. They've done just that, and Lyle Lockhart and Jeremy Idens were a part of that jumping effort.
Yeah, no cheap hits either. The Idens double was a few feet away from being a home run. The Andrew Vaughn home run, well, that cleared the fence. A couple hard hit balls here to put 2 men in scoring position. Little dribbler straight back. That was probably the weakest contact we've seen off the bat all day for the Gatemen. Even the foul balls have been hit hard.
They've made solid contact all day. Hurt struggling a little bit on the mound. Hurting, if you will.
Hey-o.
I've got the zingers, don't worry. But Bryson Stott has been great all season. One of the best averages on this team, and it's a difficult task for Kyle Hurt with runners in scoring position, but 2 outs.
The Gatemen have hit him to all parts of the ballpark, but have favored right field today. That one upstairs, 3-1 now to Stott. Is a pivotal pitch in this inning.
This is one of those spots where Stott has to be one pitch, one location. See if he can drive it to a gap.
Doesn't get one he likes. Probably was favoring inside corner there, I imagine. Big gap in right center. They're playing him to pull.
They're playing him to pull, but there's a lot of room to the left of the left fielder, Adam Fogel. So there's some room to get down a couple of good hits here for Bryson Stott.
Lazy fly ball, shallow center field. That'll do it. The Gatemen strand 2, but they do score 2. Andrew Vaughn goes deep for his 4th, count him, 4th of the year in just 8 games. The Gatemen have a 2-0 lead. We go to the top of the 2nd inning. We'll be right back on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Welcome back. Top of the 2nd inning. Gatemen take a 2-0 lead on the Andrew Vaughn home run. Ken Waldachuk now pitching with a lead. And it seems like just about everything we talked about on the pregame show. JD, you mentioned it, how Waldachuk and just pitchers in general obviously are more comfortable pitching with a lead, and it helps the offense out as well, knowing that their pitcher's going to back them up. Waldachuk pitched out of a jam in the 1st inning. And aside from the 2 walks, his stuff looked really good. It seemed like night and day in the at-bats where he gave up a walk and the at-bats where he gave up a strikeout.
Yeah, I mean, he just got aggressive and located his breaking ball. That's really what the bane was for him in those walks. Was he was finding it tough to find the strike zone with the breaking ball. But when he establishes that outer half against righties, the inner half against lefties, he's been really, really good. I think he needs to continue to do that, and the Gatemen will be in a good spot.
I think leaving the breaking ball down as well. When he tries to leave that breaking ball up, looks a little juicy to this Chatham lineup, but also he's just missed badly with it every time when it cuts low. That's about the best high breaking ball we've seen. Usually, the count goes 1-2 to Ben Ramirez, the freshman from USC. A lot of Trojans on this Chatham lineup. The battery, like you said, JD, and then Ben Ramirez here takes a breaking ball over to Andrew Vaughn at first, fields it on a knee, calls off his pitcher for out number 1.
It's a great pitch from Ken Waldachuk, located on the inner half, weak contact from Ben Ramirez, who had been having himself a really good season, 8 for 22 with 4 RBIs and 2 runs for the freshman from USC. So the fact that Ken Waldachuk is able to get that kind of weak contact from Ben Ramirez on a good breaking ball is a welcome sign for the Gatemen.
First pitch, rip and a miss by Jorge Arenas. Second baseman today from Stetson. Stetson, one of the cooler mascots and logos, as that one dinks off the glove and mask of Roscom, 0-2. One of the cooler mascots and logos in the NCAA, the Hatters. I think it's pretty cool. And the logo is it's the S and H kind of intertwined almost, and then just a cowboy hat, like a 10-gallon deal, sitting on the S and H. It's pretty cool.
It is simple, but it is also fantastic, and I love it so much.
0-2, lifted foul down the first baseline.
And my tone there might not have sounded like I liked it, but really, I really like that Stetson Hatters. Like, it's really one of my favorite.
It's really cool.
One of my favorite logos in all of Division I.
Yeah, until I did my research on Mr. Arenas, I didn't know the Stetson, that was their mascot. Got him on the outside corner. 3 strikeouts on the day for Waldachuk. He's been painting the black all areas of the plate. Working fastball, working breaking ball. We've seen the change up a couple times, but he's used both pitches as a put-out pitch. Really well done by Waldachuk so far. 4 straight Chatham Anglers retired after back-to-back walks in the first. Here comes Blake Sable, the catcher, another USC Trojan. Strike at the knees. JD, you talked about it. When you go ahead 0-1, the at-bat is yours, and they're doing just that.
It's exactly what pitchers need to do. They need to get out, throw first pitch strikes. That's the key to a good at-bat. They get to command the at-bat, and then he throws a good strike on the outer half that time to Blake Sable, who is showing bunt. But, you know, now that you're up 0-2, you can really do just about anything you want here.
He's got a bevy of pitches to work with. We'll see what he does on 0-2. Breaking ball shot foul down the first base line. That one could have been trouble. Sable actually timed that up pretty good. I think he was sitting fastball. Turned himself a little too much on that one.
Got a little bit too much of the plate for my liking that time from Ken Waldachuk, but we'll see what he does 0-2 again.
0-2, that one lifted into right field and foul towards the Gatemen bullpen. Use the term bullpen pretty loosely.
I'd like to see him go outer half fastball here. He's gone inside breaking ball twice now, 0-2, and Sable doesn't seem to be fooled.
No.
Maybe if he can hit a fastball on the outer half and paint that corner. I like that pitch there in this situation.
Goes breaking ball again, but gets a lazy fly ball out of it. Idens and Vaughn converging, and Idens reaches up and makes the grab, and the side is retired. The Anglers go 1-2-3. Waldachuk cruises through his second inning of work. Gatemen retain a 2-0 lead. We go to the bottom of the second inning on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Soft as a Grape has 10 retail locations on Cape Cod, so even when you're cheering on your Gatemen at any away games, stop into a Soft as a Grape store for the best Cape Cod products. Stores located in Falmouth, Mashpee, Woods Hole, Hyannis, Chatham, Provincetown, Edgartown, Oak Bluffs, and Vineyard Haven. From beach day to every day, Soft as a Grape has you covered.
Whatever your goals may be, Joe Crespi and the Merrill Lynch of Taunton will work with you to develop a customized financial strategy designed to help you pursue what's important to you. Managing your wealth and listening to you is their top priority. Folks, after the game, be sure to visit El Mariachi on Main Street for the best Mexican food in Wareham. The cantina provides a delicious late-night snack accompanied by fun cocktails.
Sponsor of the
Welcome back to Spillane Field, 2-0 Gatemen. Luke Roscom, followed by Skylar Hunter, batting in the 9-hole for the first time this year, and then Jeremy Idens will get his second at-bat in as many innings. I like the sound of this for the Gatemen. Roscom searching for his second Cape League hit. He got his first one, a pinch hit appearance last game. Lifted a ball into shallow right field for a base knock. Roscom with a tall stance. Watches ball one go by, 1-1 the count evens on the sophomore from Nebraska. Lifts that one foul straight back. And Roscoe coming into today just 7 official at-bats, but he's gotten on base actually a decent amount. I want to say it was against Harwich. The away game against Harwich, one of the Gatemen lost 2-0. That one's outside. That he was hit by a pitch and walked twice. So he's been able to get on base a decent amount. Still not a stellar on base percentage, but had himself a heck of a year at Nebraska, but waves right through that one for the first strikeout of the day for Kyle Hurt. Skylar Hunter, the batter, is a guy whose batting average has been looking up as of late. He had a pretty good stretch, had a rough doubleheader, but before that, it seemed like things were looking up for him. Shown with his speed, he can bunt for base hits. Took a rip and a miss at that one, a breaking ball that was nowhere near the strike zone. 0-1. In the dirt, lets that one go, 1-1.
Kyle Hurt's working incredibly quickly here, maybe trying to get the Gatemen a little bit off balance in this half inning.
Yeah, it seems to be working. No, to your point, JD, he's really controlled the tempo this inning. Fryman playing a little more up the middle. Arenas at second, playing in the hole. Shoots that one foul, 2-2. Playing almost even with the bag at third is Ben Ramirez of USC. Outfield playing straight up. Tristan English, about 10 feet off the bag, 15 feet from the line. Lifts that one right into the glove of Jorge Arenas. 2 up, 2 down.
Haven't quite seen the hard contact we saw in the first inning for the Gatemen, but one of the guys that hit the ball hardest in that inning, Jeremy Idens, is coming back to the plate. Hit one into deep left center field off the top of the wall. See if he can do something similar here and reignite this Gatemen offense with 2 outs.
2 outs, the bases are empty. That one sails over the head and over the glove of Blake Sable behind the plate. But yeah, to your point, JD, he got a hold of one just 10-15 minutes ago. See what he can do here, 1-0. Hard ground ball up the middle. Diving stop by Arenas. Smothers it over to first. Not in time by a half step. Jeremy Idens able to beat it out. I imagine they'll score that a base hit, as Arenas was playing in the hole and had to scurry quite a distance to get over there, and he kept the ball from getting into the outfield. So we'll see exactly what happens.
And honestly, it could have been way more, or less close, I should say, excuse me, because Jeremy Idens slipped coming out of the batter's box. He almost fell over himself as he started chugging toward first base.
So now with 2 outs and a man at first, here's Isaac Collins.
Takes
ball 1 low.
Established in 1877, TM Riders, a family-run insurance agency located in downtown Middleborough, Massachusetts. TM Riders' goal is to find the best coverage at a fair rate for their customers, but they really value giving the best service they can provide. Visit the office on Thatcher's Row if you would like P&C insurance information, quotes, and policies.
Now Hurt's giggling over there on the mound.
You think he thought he was out?
Maybe. I'm not sure, but I just noticed a smile coming from him.
The 1-0. Hard ground ball, takes a bad hop off the lip, but right into the glove of Arenas. This one fielded routinely, and the side is retired. The Gatemen strand 1 and score 0. We go to the top of the third inning from Spillane. 2-0 Gatemen on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with our beat writer, Ian Becerra. Now, Ian, we have 5 new guys on the roster tonight. What early impact are they going to make for the Gatemen?
Well, Mary, they already have Jeremy Idens, 2 hits today, a double in the first, and he just got hit right there. So him out of the leadoff spot is going to be something that the Gatemen are really going to be lucky to have because he's a great hitter, so expect to see him do a lot of great things so far.
And on the opposite side, we have 3 key players in Vaughn, Fioli and Stott leaving for Team USA. What is that transition going to be like for the Gatemen?
Well, it's going to be tough. I mean, we already saw today Vaughn hit his 4th homer of the season, which is incredible. So it's going to be a tough loss to lose those 3 guys. They're great players, but some of the new guys that will be brought in, they're going to help to cushion that blow.
Yes, and the game tonight is a tale of 2 division leaders. What have you seen so far in the game?
Well, we've seen one offense get out to a good start, one not. So the Gatemen, an early lead, that's big for them, especially against a good team like that. It's always good to score early, which is something the Gatemen haven't done so far this year.
Thanks so much, Ian. For the Gatemen Baseball Network, I'm Mary Orders. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Mary and Ian. Everything you said has pretty much been true. Idens has been chugging along. There's a very feared Chatham lineup, though, so Ken Waldachuk, he hasn't even seen all of it yet. He faces 9-1-2. Colin Simpson gets a strike at the knees, but if nothing else, if Waldachuk keeps pounding the zone like he is, especially early on in counts, I'm not sure there's much the Anglers can do here. Swing and a miss, fastball low, fastball high, and Waldachuk just having his way here.
He's in a rhythm now.
Yeah.
He was out of rhythm to start the game. We saw the strikeout of the first batter and then 2 straight walks, but he is in a rhythm. He is cruising right now.
Got him on the outside corner. Can make it 4 strikeouts on the day on 3 straight fastballs for Ken Waldachuk. 1 away here in the 3rd. That one brought to you, as always, by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard. Here comes Greg Jones from UNC Wilmington. Victim of a strikeout in the 1st inning. It was that leadoff strikeout you talked about, JD. First pitch fastball doesn't miss by much, but ball 1 inside to Jones. Corners in on Jones. They recognize his speed and wouldn't be surprised if he dropped down a bunt, so corner infielder's ready for that. That one misses upstairs, 2-0.
Talk about that speed. 16 stolen bases this season with UNC Wilmington.
2-0 pitch.
A quick dude.
Yeah, and that one misses up and in, I should say, 3-0.
This is how we saw him start Jones the first time, though. 3-0 on him the first time around. Ended up throwing 3 straight strikes to strike him out. Here's the first one.
Yep. Get me over fastball, does just that. So 2 more strikes to go for deja vu for Jones. 2-0 Gatemen. We're in the top of the 3rd inning. Andrew Vaughn homer in the 1st is all she wrote for Wareham. That one lifted, 3-2.
Think an elevated fastball here against Jones. He seems to be behind that fastball. It was elevated, but missed outside.
Missed outside indeed. So now 1 aboard with 1 out. Here comes Brendan Fryman.
The shortstop, number 6, Brendan Fryman from Sanford.
Sophomore from Sanford walked his last time up. Saw the corners retreat on that last pitch and now back. Even with the bag is Austin Shenton at 3rd base. Pick over to 1st, nothing doing.
Got to keep an eye on Jones here. As we mentioned, with speed, infielders at double play depth, that'd be huge, because then you don't have Spencer Torkelson coming to bat with runners on.
And this is a team that leads the league in home runs, runs scored, and stolen bases. Lazy fly ball, shallow right field, coming over is Collins. He's going to field it on 1 hop over to 1st. Not in time. So the bang-bang play. And Fryman with some speed almost crashed into the 1st base umpire, but will go down as a single. Nothing Isaac Collins could do about that one. 2 on, 1 out for Spencer Torkelson.
And this is kind of the situation you want to avoid if you're Wareham, because with 1 swing of the bat, Spencer Torkelson can easily take the lead here for the Anglers.
NCAA D1 leading 25 big flies for Mr. Torkelson. Out of Arizona State, as we mentioned, one of the premier conferences in college baseball. That one, diving stop by Stott, goes over to 2nd in time for 1. That'll be a 6-4 fielder's choice for those of you keeping score at home, but it does put runners at the corners for the Anglers and Adam Fogel of Hawaii.
It's a great play by Bryson Stott, because if that trickles in to the outfield, then Greg Jones is on his horse heading for home. Because it's going to be a slow roller to Bryant Packard. He's going to have to charge it, and Jones has plenty of speed around the 3rd base bag. now you put yourself in a position where with a couple of good pitches here to Adam Fogel, you could still get out of this inning unscathed. A huge play from Bryson Stott.
No kidding, ranged into shallow center, shallow left field, I should say. Used all of his 6'2", 6'3" frame. Our beat writer Ian Becerra did a little piece on him before the year. 1-0 misses outside, where he asked him about the fact that, you know, you don't see many 6'2" lanky shortstops in the day. They're usually smaller guys, quicker guys. But he's talked about how he's wanted to use that to his advantage. And since botching a couple plays against Chatham to open the season has been nothing short of stellar there at shortstop. Two and one on Fogel. Preseason Baseball America freshman All-American before his freshman year in 2017. Runner takes off the 2-1, fouled straight back. Fogel visibly frustrated with himself. He's got to let that one either go or you got to put it in play. Can't foul something off on 2-1 like that with your runner taken off. Two on, 2 out, 2-0 Gatemen lead in the top of the third inning. Adam Fogel trying to get his team back in this one.
Legacy Insurance Agency at 213 Main Street here in Wareham can offer you.
Count remains 2-2.
It's a good battle here from Adam Fogel, trying to keep this inning alive, but I've still been impressed with Ken Waldachuk thus far. He's shown a certain level of composure and poise on the mound that all the Gatemen pitchers have done this season. He's worked himself into a bit of a jam here, but one strike away from getting out of it unscathed.
Pick attempt over to first, now over to home. They got Jones. Jones slid head first right into Roskin, but he holds on for the out. And the side is retired. What a way to end the inning. Good heads-up defense by the Gatemen, and they get out of it, like you said, JD, unscathed. We go to the bottom of the third inning, 2-0 Gatemen on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Soft as a Grape has 10 retail locations on Cape Cod, so even when you're cheering on your Gatemen at any away games, stop into a Soft as a Grape store for the best Cape Cod products. Stores located in Falmouth, Mashpee, Woods Hole, Hyannis, Chatham, Provincetown, Edgartown, Oak Bluffs, and Vineyard Haven. From beach day to every day, Soft as a Grape has you covered. Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development, online at www.curry.edu.
Get Gatemen gear. Check out the latest styles and colors of your favorite Gatemen apparel. Also in stock, a large selection of Cape League items, including tickets to the All-Star Game. Test your pitching speed and pick up a souvenir ball, all at our merchandise booth.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is...
Welcome back, 2-0 Gatemen. Nice 1-3-2 putout for those of you keeping score. To gun down the speedy Greg Jones at third. It's a pickoff attempt over to Spencer Torkelson at first, who reached on a fielder's choice, and Greg Jones decided to take off. It was a bang-bang play at home, but in a slight collision at home plate, Luke Roscom able to hang on to it. Andrew Vaughn at the centerpiece of that defensive stop to put the Anglers away in the third, and now here he comes with the bases empty and no one out.
That pitch didn't even get close to the plate. You see the lip in front of home plate, and the ball bounced maybe 6 inches from the lip toward the plate. Tough breaking ball that time from Kyle Hurt to start the inning.
It'll be Vaughn, followed by Packard, and of course the new guy, Lyle Lockhart Jr. As Vaughn lifts that one foul, 1-1. Snuck one over the right field fence his last time up for his 4th home run of the year. Checked his swing. Did he go around? No, he didn't. No appeal made. 2-1.
And this is the impressive part about Andrew Vaughn, and it's what we've talked about. He's a disciplined hitter at the plate.
And it seems like, but even his takes, he's ready to go, right? He's not going up there looking to walk. He's going up there looking to hit. All his takes, you see his hands start to go. He does a great job of tracking the ball out of pitcher's hands. Lifts that one lazily into center field. Should be routine for Jones. Barely has to move as he makes the grab for out number 1.
Still a well-hit ball from Vaughn, and we talked about how deep it is to dead center here at Spillane. 412 feet out there, so in a couple of other places that might have given the center fielder a little bit more trouble, but Spillane containing the monster that is Andrew Vaughn, at least for this at-bat.
I want a ball low and away. He's hit 2 here and 2 away. 1 at Falmouth and a line drive at Veterans Field, home of these Chatham Anglers. That one catches the outside corner to Packard, 1-1. Hit one into the bleachers. Last game against Orleans, we've mentioned a few times. That one in the dirt, 2-1. The 2-1, swing and a miss. Infield playing pretty much straight up. Over third, Ramirez playing a few feet behind the bag, about 15 off the line. 2-2, swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. Over to first, Sable to English to complete the strikeout, second of the day for Kyle Hurt.
It's a good pitch to a dangerous hitter in Brian Packard. Keep it out of the zone. They're up in the count. My favorite waste pitch strategy that time, and Packard did exactly what Kyle Hurt wanted him to, chased the pitch out of the zone and struck out.
Yeah, he fell for it. Hurt's been looking a little more comfortable. Even in the second inning, just gave up the infield single. Strike at the letters. Good hard fastball that time. Nice pop in the glove of Sable. Has retired 6 of the last 7 Gatemen he's faced. The 0-1. Lifts that one foul, and it probably has something to do, JD, with, like you mentioned, the tempo change that it seems like Hurt has undergone. He's now ahead of Lockhart here, 0-2. Payoff pitch. Away, 1-2. That low breaking ball is one that he got Packard with. He's a little better located, though, and Lockhart, disciplined hitter. Not falling for that one. That one in the dirt. One breaking ball away, followed by a fastball in. Neither one of them seem to catch Lockhart's eye. So 2-2, bases empty, 2 down. Gatemen still lead at 2-0 on the first inning. Andrew Vaughn home run for those of you just joining us. The 2-2 pitch. Got him on the outside corner. Didn't matter whether he went around or not. Back-to-back strikeouts to lock up the Gatemen in the third. We're going to send it. We're not going to take a quick break here before we go to the top of the 4th inning here from Spillane Field. 2-0 Gatemen on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Since 1950, Morse Insurance has consistently offered the best insurance at competitive rates to generations of clients in southern Massachusetts. If you're frustrated with paying for what essentially feels like just a piece of paper, it's time for you to check out the one-of-a-kind client experience that only Morse Insurance can deliver.
The 2018 Cape League All-Star Game will be played at White House Field in Harwich, Sunday, July 22nd. Game time is 6 p.m., gates open at 2. One highlight will be the Cumberland Farms home run hitting contest. There will also be an autograph session and a large merchandise village with items from many of the teams. Support the Gatemen in part by purchasing your ticket right now at the merchandise booth. Tickets are just $5.
Head on over to BB's Bar and Grill for food, drinks, and fun. Located just off Cranberry Highway, come in to sample the scrumptious fare or relax with a drink while enjoying live entertainment. The Gatemen thank BB's Bar and Grill for their support.
Welcome back, 2-0 Gatemen, a third of the way through this one. Adam Fogel will get to continue, or rather restart his at-bat, as it's 4-5-6 for the Chatham Anglers. His at-bat was cut short by a situation to get out of the third for the Gatemen. Runners at the corners, a pickoff attempt was made over to get Spencer Torkelson as he lifts that one into the deep center field. Actually had taken Idens a little further back than I think even he originally thought. Reaches up and makes the catch for out number 1. So not much of an at-bat continuation for Fogel. Here comes Tristan English, team leading, 421 batting average coming into today. Still at a respectable 400 after the strikeout in the first. Waldachuk still on the bump for the Gatemen. Hard fastball at the letters, 0-1. But to wrap that up, there's a pickoff attempt made over to first to try to get Torkelson, and Greg Jones, a speedy center fielder, took off from third. That one is hammered deep into left field, over at the corner, and foul. Packard gave chase. And English really got a hold of that one, just turned on it a little too much. But Andrew Vaughn, who's at the center of that 1-3-2 put out, threw a strike to Luke Roscom and got Jones to end the threat. Waste pitch 0-2. Lands about 5 feet in front of home plate. 1-2 to Tristan English, senior from Georgia Tech. Swing and a miss. Got him on strikes. Make that strikeout number 5 on the day for Ken Waldachuk. That one of the swinging variety, and brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard.
Third baseman, number 5, Ben Ramirez from Southern Cal.
We kind of talked about it, Henrique. At this point, Ken Waldachuk has just settled into a rhythm. He's throwing strikes. He's getting ahead of hitters. He's pitching a very good ball game here against what we mentioned as a very, very tough Chatham lineup.
No, absolutely. It's a really tough Chatham lineup that has managed just 1 hit through this entire contest. 0-2, my goodness, JD just keeps on dominating at bats early. Gatemen, for contrast, have 5 hits on the day and have managed to get 2 runs, excuse me. I don't know where I got 4 from. 2 runs off of those. 0-2, bases is empty, 2 down. Waldachuk gets a sign of legs from Roscom from the windup. The 0-2 did not miss by much. Really good breaking ball on 0-2. Waldachuk, the 1-2. Good frame by Roscom, but not good enough. 2-2.
And this is where Waldachuk might get into a little bit of danger. Now that they're at 2-2, Ben Ramirez can sit back a little bit more and wait for a pitch that he really likes.
Like that one enough to swing at it, but fouls it off straight up. Lazy breaking ball. He just barely got a piece of it. 2-2, bases empty. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Gatemen lead it 2-0. Andrew Vaughn with his 4th bomb of the year in the 1st inning. And that's all she wrote for the Gatemen. 2-2 pitch again. Chopped right side. Collins ranges to his left on 3 hops. Fires it over to first to retire the side. We're going to take a break here as we go from the top to the bottom of the 4th on the Gatemen Baseball Network. 2-0 Gatemen when we come back.
Head on over to BB's Bar and Grill for food, drinks, and fun. Located just off Cranberry Highway, come in to sample the scrumptious fare or relax with a drink while enjoying live entertainment. The Gatemen thank BB's Bar and Grill for their support.
The law firm of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard, providing families and businesses in the greater New Bedford community with legal services for 40 years. We look forward to serving you. For an appointment, call 508-992-1270. We invite you to learn more about the law firm of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard by visiting our website, lxblaw.com.
Stop by the Ansel S. Gurney House, where you will find a unique shopping and dining experience. Whether shopping for a special occasion or just to treat yourself, you'll find what you're looking for in one of the 11 themed rooms. There's also a cafe serving fresh homemade lunches overlooking the extensive gardens. The Ansel S. Gurney House is located at 403 County Road in Marion.
Welcome back to Spillane Field. Austin Shenton, the batter. Gatemen have a 2-0 lead. Andrew Vaughn home run in the first has been it for the Gatemen offense, and the Chatham offense not doing a ton. Hammers that one into right center field. Going to get down for a base hit. Over in front of it is Torkelson to limit that to a single, but Austin Shenton keeps on hitting. He's 2 for 2 today, double and a single, and raises that Cape leading batting average. Now to let me check, 524. My goodness. And no cheap hits either for Shenton.
Yeah, he's having a pretty good year, I'd say.
I think so, yeah.
He's one of those guys that came in when I was starting to look at the roster at the beginning of the year. He's one of those guys that kind of popped off the page to me. He did incredibly well at FIU this season in a pretty good Conference USA. So the numbers popped off the page. He got off to a little bit of a slow start in the exhibition games, but they're exhibition games for a reason. Those numbers don't carry over, and he's been absolutely stellar since the Cape League season has started.
A lot of pop in the bottom middle of that order. Strike to Bryson Stott to even the count at 1-1. Stott 0 for 1 today, but still batting .292 on the year. Infield double play depth for the Anglers. Laces that one down the left field line, but foul. Stott as a sophomore at UNLV out west. A USA leading 30 doubles, excuse me, as he lifts that one into right center field. That could be trouble. Going to get down for a base hit. Stopping at second. Actually, the ball is bobbled by Jones, so trying for third is Austin Shenton. He'll get there easily, as the throw in isn't much better than what he bobbled it. And then when he bobbled it in center field, I imagine there'll be an error charged to Mr. Jones. First Anglers error of the day, if that is in fact how it's scored. Well, runners at the corners, nobody out for Luke Roscom.
Just spoke with the official score. It's going to be a single for Bryson Stott and then E8 when Austin Shenton advanced to third base. So Stott will be credited with the hit, and then
there we go.
Shenton up to third on the bobble out there from Greg Jones.
Runners at the corners for Roscom. Shoots that one straight back. It hits something hard.
Drilled off the school here at Spillane Field, and the glass up there has been redone in the last couple of seasons because
I can't imagine why.
A lot of foul balls, so that one hit the protective glass here.
Chopped right side. This could get a run in. Over to second. He's going to try for 2. Not in time. 4-6 fielder's choice. We'll get Austin Shenton, or excuse me, yeah, it was Austin Shenton in. Bryson Stott gunned down at second. Luke Roscom with a productive at-bat. Move to 0 for 2 on the day with the strikeout.
From Purdue.
But 3-0 is your score in favor of the Gatemen. Here comes Skylar Hunter with a man on and 1 out. In the dirt, that's going to get way behind Sable. Over to second easily is Stott. Hunter now has a man in scoring position to work with. And with 1 out, even though he could do some damage via the bunt, I don't imagine Skylar Hunter and the rest of the Wareham Gatemen are looking to play small ball here. Seems like they've refigured it out. The mojo they had in the first. Seems like the bat's starting to click a little bit better than they did in the second and third inning as Hurt got into a rhythm. So I imagine he's going to let Hunter free swing. If he gets something like that a little more straightened out, it could be dangerous. Long foul ball for strike 1. One down, runner on second, excuse me. In the dirt. First of 2 consecutive home games for the Gatemen before they start a stretch of 4 straight road games in 3 days. Got Hyannis at home tomorrow, at Brewster on Thursday, at Orleans Friday, and a doubleheader at YD at Yarmouth Dennis on Sunday. The 2-2 in the dirt, able to keep in front of him is Sable, finds it under his feet. So full count now.
This has been a really productive inning for the Gatemen, not only because they have scored that run, but also they continue to drive the count up for Kyle Hurt. 3-2 here to Skylar Hunter, and you got to figure he's getting toward the end of the line with those 3 earned runs coming in to score.
Tipped it into the glove for strike 3, 2 down. 4th strikeout of the day for Hurt, quietly having a pretty good day.
Right fielder number 7, Jeremy Idens from UCLA.
He's given up the 3 earned runs, but other than that, not too bad. I should say just his 3, in fact, earned runs on 7 hits. 3 strikeouts and no walks either for Hurt. High, towering fly ball, shallow right field. 3 fielders converging on it, and it's Arenas who reaches up and makes the grab. So the Gatemen threaten but do not score. They do score. They get 1 in on the Luke Roscom RBI fielder's choice. Go to the bottom of the 4th inning, or the top of the 5th. My apologies, from Spillane Field. We'll be right back on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Bay Point Golf Club offers a unique collection of 18 championship golf holes, a beautiful banquet facility, and a club host that has a fully stocked pro shop. The Bay Point Grill is a perfect place to grab a meal or watch a game. The course is located off of Onset Avenue in Buzzards Bay. The Gatemen thank you for your support.
Are you hungry? Visit the concession stand for some new menu items. Try fried dough, chicken fingers, or french fries along with your regular favorites, hot dogs, burgers, cold drinks, and ice cream. Proceeds from the concession stand support the Gatemen and the Wareham High DECA program.
Since 1981, the Northeast Maritime Institute has been one of the forerunners in private maritime education and training in the United States and around the globe. They have been recognized by the International Maritime Organization as well as the U.S. Coast Guard for their top quality maritime education, facilities, faculty, and staff. Northeast Maritime Institute, America's premier 2-year maritime college.
Welcome back to Spillane Field, 3-0 Gatemen. Able to jump on Kyle Hurt here, get his pitch count through 4 up to 71. And the ratio not too fantastic from Hurt either. Despite giving up no walks, 43 strikeouts only out of those 70 pitches. Which isn't horrendous, but probably could be a little better. Ken Waldachuk still going. He's had himself a pretty good day, giving up just 1 hit. He has 5 strikeouts as well. Pair of walks in the first. He got registered a 3rd one in the 2nd inning, but since then has been all business.
Number 49, Jorge Arenas from Stetson.
Jorge Arenas from Stetson steps in. It'll be 7-8-9 to face Waldachuk here in the 5th inning. High fly ball, right side. Vaughn racing, might run out of room. He will. Watches it go foul into the bleachers. From the windup, the 0-1. Breaking ball misses high, 1-1. I'll make a correction as I rattled through off to you the Gatemen schedule. I thought I had it memorized. I did not, in fact, for the rest of the week. Lifts that one. Well hit, but shallow into center field. Skylar Hunter running, grab, slides for insurance. 2 up, 2 down. 1 up, 1 down. It was the same at bat. My apologies. Arenas is retired. Blake Sable, the batter. Colin Simpson waits on deck.
From Southern Cal.
Little flashiness there from Skylar Hunter. Maybe didn't quite need it, but looks good. One of those style plays out there in center field. He made a really nice play in the Orleans doubleheader that he actually really needed to dive on and made a nice backhanded pick ranging into left center field.
No, it was a really stellar play, yeah. I was up in the football press box for WCTV at that one, so I got a great look at that one. Swing and a miss, 1-1. So to recap the correct Gatemen schedule for the rest of the week, Chatham today, obviously, and then tomorrow we welcome Hyannis to town for the first time. Thursday on the road against Bourne, Friday on the road against Orleans. Swing and a miss on that one. And then Saturday, back here at home against Brewster before the YD doubleheader is, in fact, on Sunday. One-two pitch, rung him up at the knees, strike 3. 2 down on that one. Brought to you as always by Langex, Forrest, and Bullard. 6 strikeouts on the day for Waldachuk, a pretty similar line to what he registered in his last time out, but doing it in a little more time. He went 4 innings last time. I imagine he won't go any more than 5. He might. I mean, he's pitching incredibly well, but sometimes that's not what it's about on the Cape League, just getting guys reps. But the Gatemen have a 3-0 lead here. Strike right down the middle, 0-1. Lazy fly ball, left center field. Hunter and Packard converging on it. Packard makes the grab. 3 up, 3 down, and we will go to the bottom of the 5th inning. 3-0 Gatemen on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Okay, fans.
We're going to send it over to Mary Orders real quick for a sideline report.
T-shirt toss is brought to you by Soft as a Grape, with stores all across the Cape.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Gatemen assistant GM Andrew Sarrazin. Now, Andrew, could you explain to me a little bit and the folks at home what your role is for the team?
Sure. So I'm an assistant GM with one other intern, Sydney, and we kind of just assist Andrew Lang, the actual GM, with whatever tasks he needs to do, like roster construction for next year, some other like tasks, handing out uniforms to players, and I handle a blast motion sensor, which tracks statistics on players hitting. So I analyze the data for that. And then during games, I do some scouting and I do some bats, which is a system that tracks the game and lets players see video of their at-bats.
Cool. And what are some key things you've noticed in the team atmosphere so far?
So I think this team is actually really gelling very well, because it can be hard on a summer team to get some good team chemistry, because teams are players coming from all over the country and don't really have a good atmosphere. But in the locker room, like, the guys really like each other and the guys are getting along really well.
Lastly, what are some key trends you've noticed over the past 7 games?
So the team's playing really well out of the gate, which is a good sign. We're getting really good starts from our starting pitchers, and our really good offense from our players. Like Andrew Vaughn is really fun to watch every day. And we have some exciting players in the outfield, like Bryant Packard, and Austin Shenton's been playing really well. So it's been a really fun time to watch them so far.
Thanks so much, Andrew. For the Gatemen Baseball Network, I'm Mary Orders. Back to you guys in the booth.
Welcome back. 3-0 Gatemen, bottom of the 5th inning. Pitching change for the Chatham Anglers. Kyle Hurt's day is done, and now the guy who was originally the projected starter instead, out of Syracuse, New York, St. John's University, Jeff Belge, 6'5". Sophomore, had an okay year over there at St. John's. But his last time out against YD, 4 innings of work, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. He with 3 hits, no earned runs. He's got good stuff. Tall left-hander, doesn't throw incredibly hard. But the fact of the matter is, he pitched 4 scoreless against YD. He's looking to do more of the same and keep his Chatham Anglers in it against the Gatemen, who lead at 3-0. Belge will face Isaac Collins, followed by Andrew Vaughn and Bryant Packard. Tough order coming right out of the pen. Switch hitting, Collins hitting from the right side. Hasn't done this in a while. We'll see how he fares against the lefty Belge. From the wind-up, first pitch. Good pitch on the outside corner. Caught enough of the plate for the home plate umpire. Steps back in. The 0-1. Hard ground ball up the middle. Off the glove of Arenas. Had a heck of an effort there, but not able to get it well hit to the right spot. Collins is aboard with nobody out.
The first baseman, number 16, Andrew Vaughn from town.
We'll see if they score that a single. I imagine they will. Really well hit by Collins, and not much Arenas could have done with that one. Now Andrew Vaughn with nobody out and a man on first. He's responsible for 2 of the Gatemen runs today. Two-run homer out to right, showing off that opposite field power. Strike on the outside corner. They do, in fact, rule that a single to the second baseman, Arenas. Seen a couple of those today. It's good for everybody. He doesn't get hit with the error. It's good for Collins' batting average. Everybody wins. The 0-1. Shot down the right field line, foul. 0-2 to Vaughn, disciplined hitter, though. He's got a penchant of working himself out of these types of counts. See what he can do here against Belge. Sets. The 0-2. Way upstairs, 1-2. Infield at double play depth. The pitch. Swinging a high fly ball deep to left field, but foul. You could see everybody within a 500-foot radius. His ears perked up at that one. The sound off the bat sounded like what he did against Chatham about a week ago for that grand slam.
You just expect the ball to head out of the ballpark. You just expect the ball to head out of the ballpark at this point with Andrew Vaughn.
Over to second, could be two, and it is an unassisted. It did not. They're saying they didn't get him at first. He swiped his leg across.
The left fielder, number 6,
It was actually in front of the bag. Isaac Collins was well down the first to second base path and was going to get in there pretty easily. Would have been a tough play for the shortstop Fryman to make. So just one out, and it'll be a 6-3 fielder's choice. Or rather, it won't be a fielder's choice. It'll just be a 63 ground out.
It'll just be a 6-3 ground out indeed. One down, but a man in scoring position. So productive at bat in the sense that Isaac Collins has now moved into scoring position for Bryant Packard, a guy who knows a thing or two about driving in runs. List that one lazily fouled down the third baseline. Packard 0 for 2 today, ground out and a strikeout. One out, 3-0 Gatemen. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Gatemen trying to go for 2 wins in as many tries against the Chatham Anglers, the East Division leading. Chatham Anglers lead the Cape Cod League, not just the East Division, but the entire Cape Cod League in home runs. They've got 8 of them. 12 stolen bases, good for a league lead as well, and 35 runs, good for second. Gatemen in third in that category with 34. That one inside to Packard, 1-1. Playing him to pull. You see Fryman holding on Collins there. He retreats, breaking ball in and out of the glove of Sable over to third as Collins easily takes a turnaround third. Sable able to grab it against the backstop, walk it back to his pitcher. And now with 1 out, Brian Packard's at bat just got a lot easier. He gets it out of the infield in any capacity. You imagine Collins with his speed is heading home to give the Gatemen a 4-0 lead.
Pretty much the only thing you can't do here if you're Brian Packard is strike out, pop out, or ground out. Anything else, flying out is fine. The hit is obviously good. Even if you do ground out, if you hit the ball hard enough, but as the infield plays in, pretty much any ground ball is going to come home.
Lifts that one into left field. That might get a run in line. Collins going to try to tag. A throw in. Not in time, and it popped out of Sable's glove. Collins in on the sac fly. The sac line out, I should say, by Brian Packard. 4-0 Gatemen.
I'm a little wary of the throw that time from Adam Fogel coming from left. I know the ball was hit hard, but he saw Collins was coming, and he took a second to have it register that he needed to throw. He kind of hop-stepped and then threw it relatively lazily toward the plate. If you're Adam Fogel, you've got to line that one up and come up firing, especially with somebody with the speed of Isaac Collins on the base paths.
So a sac fly gives the Gatemen a 4-0 lead regardless. But I agree with you, JD. It was a little odd. And I think maybe he thought that on the line drive wasn't going to try to score. Not that it matters that much. It's the time when when the ball hits the glove of the outfielder, and when it comes into the catcher, it's about the throw, not how long it took the ball to get there. But Collins was going all the way. He thought that Fogle was deep enough to make an attempt at it, so he did. 2-0, didn't like that one, so he let it go, but called for strike one. Lyle Lockhart Jr., 1 for 2, single and a strikeout. Infield back again as the bases are cleared. 2-1. Fouls it straight back, 2-2.
This Gatemen offense is back to what we saw at the beginning of the season.
Yep.
Last 3 games of the week, last week were a bit of a struggle. The Harwich game and then the doubleheader against Orleans on Sunday. This team is now clicking on all cylinders. The lineup is dangerous in pretty much every single spot. So there's really not an easy out in this Gatemen lineup today.
2-2 outside, 3-2. No, I couldn't agree with you more, JD. This definitely looks like the early season Gatemen lineup that we saw, especially jumping out to early leads, the starters holding it down. The Gatemen don't have to play from behind. They've played well from behind this year, but there's only so many times you can come from behind to win. Still a 5-2 mark coming into today, not something to sniff at. Rifled straight back, 3-2, we'll do it again. In the end, under their belts, Gatemen trying to put that to a stop right now. 2 down, bases empty. The payoff pitch. Swinging a lazy fly ball, foul ground towards the Gateman on deck. Circle running as Sable slides, and it bounces out of his glove. Slid a little too early. He's got, well, I'm looking with the mask off. Not sure if those are sunglasses or rec specs or some kind of combination of the two. He's got some eyewear there behind the plate. We'll do it again. Lockhart given new life. 18th pitch of the inning coming up for Belge. With 2 down, the payoff pitch one more time. Got him at the knees. He was on his way to first, but instead will take a trip to the dugout. Strikeout number 1 for Belge. The side is retired. The Gatemen get one more, though. Brian Packard brings in Isaac Collins. We'll be right back on the Gatemen Baseball Network with the top of the 6th inning. Gatemen lead at 4-0. Don't go anywhere.
Got legal trouble? Attorney Mark Deshays is here to help the greater New Bedford area with real estate and business law, estate planning, and probate. Visit him today.
Founded in 1854, the Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company is the world's largest cranberry grower and private property owner in eastern Massachusetts. The company supports organizations like the Wareham Gatemen and projects like the outdoor cranberry bog classroom that you may have passed on your way in. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more. Founded in 1854, the Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company is the world's largest cranberry grower and private property owner in eastern Massachusetts. The company supports organizations like the Wareham Gatemen and projects like the outdoor cranberry bog classroom that you may have passed on your way in. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
Got legal. Attorney
Founded
Mark
in
Deshays is here to help
1854, the Wareham-based
Welcome back, 4-0 in favor of the hometown Gatemen. They're trying to push their record to 6-2 and send the East Division leading Anglers to 4-3-1 on the year. They got one more on the Brian Packard sac fly to bring home Isaac Collins, who started off last inning with a single. For those of you joining us, Luke Roscom, another run driven in via the RBI fielder's choice in the 4th inning. Roscom hasn't had much conventional success at the plate, but it's finding ways little by little to be productive on the offensive end. And, of course, Andrew Vaughn with the big fly in the 1st inning to put the first 2 Gatemen runs on the board today. Right now, though, a pitching change heading into the 6th inning to face the top of the order. It's Nathan Florence, who subs in for Ken Waldachuk, and what a day Waldachuk had. 6 strikeouts, 3 walks, gave up just 1 hit. No earned runs. Yet to give up an earned run this year through 2 starts. Shoots that one into center field for a base hit. Jones is aboard for the 2nd time today, first hit of the day for the center fielder.
First pitch from Nathan Florence in his Cape Cod League baseball career. Didn't exactly get the location he wanted, left it a little bit up for Jones, and he did a good job of hitting it just past where Isaac Collins could have made maybe a diving attempt at it. Double play will get things back on track here for the Gatemen.
And that's kind of what I was thinking. Get the double play going as that one misses outside. Brandon Fryman, 1 for 1, walking a single today. That one in the dirt. Roscom throws over to first. Vaughn able to keep it in front of him. That's what matters. The throw was about 5 feet too short. We've talked about it occasionally, but I don't think we've talked about it enough. Andrew Vaughn, apart from being a force at the plate, he is a really fundamentally sound first baseman. Made a lot of really good picks, and he's not that big a dude, so he's not that big a target at first base. But he managed to use all 5'9", 5'10" of his frame to do everything he can. Lifts that one into left field, does Fryman back on it as Packard, back pedals, reaches up and makes the catch. A couple feet shy of the fence, just kind of kept on carrying. Greg Jones retreats to first, and there's 1 out.
Weird play for Packard.
Yeah.
Backs up, looked like he might have even was about to drop it in left field. Got it, and then on a line, essentially, all the way from deep left field to about the midway point between first and second base. He's got a cannon out there, but a very odd-looking play, but nonetheless, it got the job done.
And we've seen that cannon at work in the Orleans game to save a run. Ended up being pretty pivotal as the Gatemen won in walk-off fashion in Game 1 on Sunday. Austin Shenton with a 3-run shot, kind of out of nowhere. You mentioned on the pregame show, JD, Gatemen offense looked dead on arrival in the 7th inning. But out of nowhere was able to secure a 4-3 win for Game 1 win in that doubleheader. Then dropped the second one by a score of 10-4. 1-1 the count to Spencer Torkelson. 0 for 1 with a fielder's choice. Also walked in the first inning. Guy can do dangerous things with the bat. Pick off over to first, nothing doing. Torkelson taps the plate twice. Comes set. So does Florence, the pitch. Good breaking ball on the outside corner. Didn't bite much. Broke more left to right than anything. With 1 out, he's 1 strike away from getting Spencer Torkelson out of the right-handed batter's box. Infield double play depth. 1-2. Fastball the same place as the breaking ball, but that doesn't catch enough of the plate. 2-2.
Florence has done a pretty good job here, in my opinion. Gave up the leadoff single to Greg Jones, but then had a good at-bat against Brandon Fryman. A pretty good at-bat here against a very dangerous hitter in Spencer Torkelson. But Luke Roscom going to give some words of encouragement to the youngster. Massachusetts native out of Wilbraham, home of Friendly's Ice Cream out in Western Mass, and Minnechaug High School.
Take off attempt made, nothing doing. Also, Wilbraham, what a fantastic name. That is such a New Englandy name, Wilbraham. I don't spend enough time out here. You know better than I do what constitutes a New Englandy name.
It's pretty New Englandy.
Yeah.
Not quite as difficult to pronounce as a lot of New England schools, New England towns, I should say. That one came in and hit Torkelson apparently, but Jones was off on the pitch. Looked like he was going to get in down at second, but he didn't have to rush at all at that point. So, hit by pitch for Spencer Torkelson. He moves to, well, doesn't move anywhere. He's still 0 for 1 today. A walk and a hit by pitch for the big righty from Arizona State. And at this point, it looks like teams are starting to figure out that you're probably going to have to pitch a little bit around Spencer Torkelson. Similar kind of approach you have to have against a guy like Andrew Vaughn for Wareham. He's going to hurt you if you put a ball in the strike zone. He's just that good of a hitter. Both of them are. So they pitch around Torkelson. Not exactly the outcome you want. You got him to 2 strikes. So you would have liked to at least hit the strike zone and at least tried something to get him out there, but that one just came in and got a little bit too much of the inner half of the plate.
Lifts that one into shallow center field. Collins going back on it, reaches up, makes the catch. Nifty play from Isaac Collins. That one might have dropped in for a base hit, but Collins using all of his speed and that little frame to make the catch. 2 down.
Skylar Hunter wasn't going to be able to get there, so Isaac Collins has to make a play one way or the other. So he either makes that play or it falls in for a single, and he made a nice little play, left in the air. There's 2 outs now for another dangerous hitter in Tristan English.
English steps in, batting out of the 5-hole today. Over 2 with a strikeout, time called. But English came in today batting .421. Over 2 today, still batting a very dangerous .381. And the time is called. We got a trip to the mound.
Pitching coach out to the mound to discuss strategy.
It's going to be Don Sneddon, not Jim Lawler, out to the mound. So he's going to call a conference of all the infielders as well as the pitcher and catcher, maybe get a couple of signs in, not signs, but a game plan here against a good hitter in Tristan English with runners at first and second and 2 outs.
We're discussing strategy for the infield, and you can discuss investment strategy with Joe Crespi from Merrill Lynch, who sponsors this trip to the mound. Just making sure everybody's on the same page. Jones at second, dangerous on the base paths. So honestly, I think just centered around him. At least that's the way I look at it. English 0 for 2, waiting on the first pitch from Florence still. He's given up a single and he's hit a batter. Other than that, pretty good for the debut appearance of Florence. One of about 6, I want to say, roster additions that were effective this morning. Idens and Lockhart, of course, 2 of them. Florence finally comes sets.
Taking his time on the mound here with runners on at base. So slowing things down, trying to settle into at least a little bit of a rhythm here with 2 outs with a good hitter in Tristan English at the plate.
Collins and Jones dancing back and forth around second base. 1-0 English, ripping a miss. Good pitch from Florence. 1-0, that one pretty violent swing from English. Swung right through it, 1-1.
Looked like he was gearing up for the hard stuff, and Florence took a little bit off that one. Looked like it might have been a changeup out on the outer half from the right-hander. So keeping Tristan English off balance, always a good thing.
1-1. Took a little bit off that one, but leaves it up in the zone, or out of the zone, I should say. 2-1. Two on, 2 down. Gatemen lead at 4-0. Andrew Vaughn, Luke Roscom, and Brian Packard have been the run producers today for Wareham. Pitching has shut it down. Hard ground ball up the middle for a base hit. They're waving Jones around from second. The throw to the plate will be cut off by Andrew Vaughn, and the Chatham Anglers get one back. Good hard ground ball up the middle. Tristan English reminds everyone why he's hitting close to 400.
I think English is probably the second best batter on this team. It's really maybe even 1A, 1B with Spencer Torkelson. I think that English hits a little bit better for average, while Torkelson has the power in his bat. Both very impressive, but that time he's able to beat Nathan Florence and runners at first and second for still a pretty good hitter in Ben Ramirez.
Ramirez steps in with 2 on and 2 out. The Gatemen try to get out of a little bit of a jam here. Thankfully still working for the Gatemen with a 3-run lead, 4-1.
That's the importance I talked about of getting out early and getting out in front. It just makes the pitcher's job a little bit easier, not so much pressure on them, because you're still working with a 3-run lead here.
Lazily hit into left field. If that gets down fair, and it won't, could be trouble.
Would have been big trouble.
Yeah.
Brian Packard didn't take the best route to that ball. It ended up landing behind him. He kind of tried to, I can't even describe it really. He moved too much in, and I don't think he realized how much power the ball had. flying out into left field because that ball got behind him, probably would have scored 2 runs. Just because of where the ball ended up and the kind of throw he was going to have to make, wheeling back around toward the catcher.
2 on, 2 out. That one shot fouled on the third base line. So now Florence 1 strike away from getting out of the inning. Should he reach Jorge Arenas, waits on deck. He's 0 for 2 today. Ramirez also hitless in today's contest. Torkelson at second, English at first. Checks the runner twice. Florence goes to the plate. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. The threat is over. Chatham only scores 1. That strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Forrest, and Bullard. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, our beat writer Ian Viscera has scores from around the league in our Cape League update. Don't go anywhere. 4-1 Gatemen on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Got legal trouble? Attorney Mark Deshays is here to help the greater New Bedford area with real estate and business law, estate planning, and probate. Visit him today.
Located in Wareham Crossing, Coastal Orthodontics, longtime sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen, knows the importance of a healthy smile. Dr. Kevin Oliveira and his team at Coastal Orthodontics are a patient-focused practice, delivering professional, effective orthodontic treatment based on the individual clinical needs of each patient, resulting in beautiful smiles in a timely manner. With 10 years of experience using Invisalign, Coastal Orthodontics uses the most up-to-date dental equipment.
Founded in 1854, the Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company is the world's largest cranberry grower and private property owner in eastern Massachusetts. The company supports organizations like the Wareham Gatemen and projects like the outdoor cranberry bog classroom that you may have passed on your way in. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
Located in Wareham Crossing, Coastal Orthodontics, longtime sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen, knows the importance of a healthy smile.
Got legal trouble? Attorney Mark Deshays is here to help the greater New Bedford area with real estate and
Founded
business
in
law,
1854,
Located
the
in Wareham Crossing, Coastal Orthodontics, longtime sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen, knows the importance of a healthy smile. Dr. Kevin Oliveira and his team at Coastal Orthodontics are a patient-focused practice, delivering professional, effective orthodontic treatment based on the individual clinical needs of each patient, resulting in beautiful smiles in a timely manner. With 10 years of experience using Invisalign, Coastal Orthodontics uses the most up-to-date dental equipment.
On the Cape, which is why, I imagine partially at least, they revert to a points system, similar to hockey. 2 points for a win, none for a loss, 1 for a tie, to calculate the standings. More presently, though, Austin Shenton, the batter, against Jeff Belge.
And that one ended in a tie because Red Wilson Field, the home of the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox, no lights out there, so had to be suspended due to darkness, and it ended in a tie. That was the day that
Located in Wareham Crossing, Coastal Orthodontics, longtime sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen, knows the importance of a healthy smile. Dr. Kevin Oliveira and his team at Coastal Orthodontics are a patient-focused practice, delivering professional, effective orthodontic treatment. Located in Wareham Crossing, Coastal Orthodontics, longtime sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen.
interesting day in the Cape League, to say the least.
Yeah.
I know the Kettleers made.
Yeah, and those off days after doubleheaders are supposed to be sacred, as that one is shot into left field for a base hit. Would you believe it? Austin Shenton is 3 for 3, and of course you would believe it.
This kid's incredible.
Kid's a monster, yeah.
He is absolutely incredible. He's quickly transforming himself into the best hitter for average on this Gatemen team. I call Andrew Vaughn the most. He's going to get on base, and he's going to score runs. That's just the fact of the matter. That's what Austin Shenton does. He's been doing it all year, and he's putting together an incredible start to the season.
545. Higher and higher climbs the average for Austin Shenton. on a 3-for-3 day. Yeah, but I agree, Vaughn, because on any given pitch, Vaughn could put one over the fence. Shenton hasn't shown that raw power yet, but he's hit the ball hard all over the place. I mean, you can't not hit the ball hard all over the place if you're going to climb that average to 545. But to extend your metaphor, I think if Shenton's going to nickel and dime you, Vaughn is the guy to dollar coin you right in the forehead. He's done that today. 2-run shot in the first, gave the Gatemen a 2-0 lead. Luke Roscom drove in a run. Brian Packer did as well. And 1-2, did he go around? Appeal is made to the field umpire. Nothing doing. Bryson Stott is safe, 1-2.
And one thing we haven't talked about with Jeff Belge is how impressive it is that he's even here today. He is legally blind in his right eye.
Yeah, I don't know how we haven't talked about that before, yeah.
He is seeing out of one eye right now. He has 20/15 vision, nearly perfect out of the left eye, and that's a good thing as he delivers a pitch right on the outer half for a called strike 3 to Bryson Stott. His second strikeout of the day for Belge, but he was skipping rocks as you do on the lake or on a body of water when you're younger. He was skipping rocks with his cousin when one came out of his cousin's hand at an odd angle and actually hit him in the right eye.
Ooh.
It deflated his entire eyeball.
Jeez Louise.
His entire eyeball started to deflate because it broke the cornea. So he didn't end up losing his eye, but he went legally blind in his right eye, so he's seeing only out of his left eye, essentially. When legally blind has a lot of different connotations, but in this sense, it's hard for him to see out of his right eye, next to impossible if he's legally blind. So he's seeing out of his left eye pretty much only. He does wear glasses on the mound, but incredibly impressive that Jeff Belge is in the Cape Cod League and having such a successful baseball career, considering you need your eyes to play baseball. I'd say out of pretty much any major sport, your vision is most crucial in baseball.
I would agree with you there, especially depth perception. I mean, it matters much more as a hitter and as a non-pitching fielder. But if you close one eye, I mean, you get depth perception as a human being because you have two eyes. That's just how it works biologically. So if you cover up one of them, your depth perception goes out the window. If you get a comebacker coming at you as a pitcher with no depth perception, you're kind of hosed. That one upstairs, 1-1 to Luke Roscom, who has an RBI today via the fielder's choice. Came back in the 4th inning. Wareham got 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th. Able to tack on one of their own.
And he doesn't wear the glasses for vision. He wears it to protect his eye.
Well, there you go. That one, throw down to second made, bounces into center field. Austin Shenton moves over to second base. I imagine they'll score that a stolen base.
So he wears it as protection because his eye, it's like a globe in his right eye, and it can still become deflated and cause a lot of issues. It's still his eye. It's just got like this protective layering over it almost. And it can still become injured. So he's got the protective eyewear on, obviously, when he's playing baseball. Likely wears it in his personal life as well. But he's only seeing a limited amount of colors out of his right eye, and he sees outlines. Outlines in some colors, and he's still pitching at a high level. He's got Luke Roscom 2-2.
And having some success, like you said. 1 strikeout, 2 hits, giving up an earned run. Through an inning and a third of work. Roscom sends that one high and deep into left field. Could be trouble. Gets down for a fair ball. Going to roll into the corner. Luke Roscom. There's the power we've been waiting to see. 5-1 Gatemen as Shenton scores easily from second base. Luke Roscom starting to heat up the bat finally.
And he gets it to go opposite field, so some opposite field power for Luke Roscom. Very impressive. Right down that left field line, the short porch, 315 down in left field, rolls all the way to the wall. So he's flashing some of that potential that you saw last season in Duluth, in the Northwoods League, and you know he's got the talent. He wouldn't be on this roster if he wasn't. Had a tough season at Nebraska, but had a much better freshman year with the Cornhuskers 2 years ago.
Now sending that one into shallow center field is Skylar Hunter. Tagging from second, Luke Roscom going to scurry into third, slides in safely. Productive at bat from Skylar Hunter. Now flip it over to the top of the lineup. Jeremy Idens will get his 4th at-bat for the Wareham Gatemen.
Jeremy Idens from UCLA.
So Skylar Hunter not exactly benefiting from being plopped in that 9 hole. But I do like the move from Don Sneddon. You know, Jeremy Idens is a great hitter. He led off this season at UCLA, so you've got to keep him in a spot where he's comfortable. And Hunter is kind of a little, I'd say Hunter is a little bit more versatile in terms of where you can put him in the lineup. And you put some speed at the bottom of that lineup, and then you have, like you said in the pregame show, pretty much 2 leadoff hitters in Hunter and Idens in the lineup at 1 and 9. So you can kind of bookend the lineup that way. Skylar Hunter just hasn't benefited quite yet.
Good frame job on the first pitch. Fouls that one right into the catcher Sable on the second. Having himself a 3-for-3 day. On an RBI double, Gatemen offense clicking on all cylinders. Just Hunter and Packard without a hit today for Wareham. Oh. Big hole up the middle. As Fryman's playing in the 5-6 hole just shy of the left field grass. The 1-2. Upstairs, he missed it, 2-2. Belge comes set, deals the 2-2, swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. First strikeout of the day for Idens, 3rd of the day for Belge. And the side is retired, but the Gatemen get one more, build their lead to 5-1. We go to the top of the 7th inning here from Spillane Field. We'll be right back on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Village Signs of Mattapoisett. They do it all, from logo design, trucks and buildings, to boats. Village Signs has proudly served Southern New England for over 35 years. Visit them at villagesigns.inc.com for all your signage needs. The Gatemen wish to thank Patty Wild and the trustees of the John Wild Charitable Trust for their continued support of Gatemen Baseball in Wareham.
South Coast Health, operators of Charlton Memorial Hospital, St. Luke's Hospital, and Toby Hospital, delivers an unmatched combination of clinical excellence with a personal touch. They are proud to serve as southeastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island's only not-for-profit health system, as well as the region's largest employer. South Coast Health, the best care plus something more.
Welcome back to Spillane Field, top of the 7th, 5-1 ball game in favor of your Gatemen. Luke Roscom finally with an extra base hit, showing the power we saw when Oppo Taco managed a ball into the left field corner. Roscom bats from the left side. Drove in Austin Shenton, who's having himself a heck of a day. The offense is clicking on all cylinders. We talked about it almost ad nauseum here, but it really is significant against a team that led the league in almost every offensive category into the Chatham Anglers, and with a league second best 2.90 ERA coming into today. And they've given up 5 runs. 4 of them have been earned. 3 of them, I should say. But either way, on the flip side of things, the Wareham pitching has been nothing short of stellar, giving up just 3 hits, 1 earned run. 2 hits given up by Florence, who's back out for his second inning of work, and 1 for Waldachuk. Waldachuk 6 strikeouts. 12 total strikeouts on the year through 9 innings for the pitcher from St. Mary's. Really, really good stuff out of him from the Cape.
Attention, please. A pinch hitter for the Anglers. Now batting number 7, Kyle McCann from Georgia Tech.
Kyle McCann pitch hitting here in the 7 hole for Jorge Arenas. McCann from Georgia Tech. Listed as a catcher, so we'll see what sort of defensive shenanigans the Chatham coaching staff has up their sleeve. But either way, McCann slots in here, sends a ball foul. 0-1. Florence the 0-1. Got him on the outside corner, 0-2. Yes, sir.
Nathan Florence has settled in here. Done a good job. Gave up a run in his first inning of work in the sixth. Gave up a leadoff single to Greg Jones, but he's settled in, started to pitch a really nice game. Had a pretty good season at Hartford this year, sub-4 ERA. Pitched 85 and 2/3 innings. How about these strikeout numbers? 93 strikeouts in 85 innings. That's a fantastic number.
Swing and a miss, got him on strikes. Make that another strikeout here on the Cape, his second of the day. That one brought to you by Lang, Exfaris, and Bullard. One away, bases empty for Blake Sable, the catcher.
The catcher, number 21,
and I think that strikeout kind of proves that Florence is in a bit of a groove here.
I'd say so.
Back-to-back strikeouts now, dating back to the last inning for Florence. Granted, he's doing it against the lower half of this Chatham lineup, but as we mentioned, top to bottom, this lineup for the Anglers is pretty dangerous.
Yeah, and a strikeout's a strikeout, like you said, especially with this dangerous Chatham lineup. Coming in today, they had 6 guys hitting 300 or above. The 0-1, back-to-back counts, 0-2. And he's done what Waldichuk was able to do very well, which is get out ahead of hitters and establish good 0-1 and 0-2 counts. Now he's got the liberty to do darn near whatever he pleases right here. 0-2, lazy fly ball into center field. Shallow enough to where Bryson Stott able to come back and make the catch for out number 2.
Got him 0-2, gave him a breaking ball. He was looking fastball in the 0-2.
From Oklahoma State.
Got underneath it, and 2 down for Nathan Florence. He's pitching well.
Third batter of the inning, who gets a 1-0 ball down low, is Colin Simpson. 0 for 2 today with a strikeout. Flew out to left field his last time up. That was in the 5th inning. Trying to do anything for this Anglers team to try to get back in this one. They trail by 4. They've mustered just 3 hits all day, as that one's in the dirt. 2-0 to Simpson. Greg Jones waits on deck. 1 for 2. Single, a run scored, and a walk for the speedy center fielder from UNC Wilmington. Gun down at home. Trying to score on a pickoff. Andrew Vaughn said no, sir. Kept the Anglers at that point scoreless. That one shot straight back to us. 2-0. 2-1.
Good thing we have the plexiglass back here at Spillane Field.
Exactly.
Didn't hit the plexiglass, but is close enough to make you nervous.
Still feels nice. Two down, bases empty. Gatemen lead at 5-1. Top of the 7th inning here at Spillane. 2 of the best teams in the Cape going at it. The 2-1 breaking ball lazily hit over to third. Austin Shenton retires the side. A strikeout and a pair of pop-outs do it for Nathan Florence in the 7th. Stretch time here at Spillane. 5-1 Gatemen on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
One of the Gatemen's favorite places for their post-game meals is Cool Cone, where you can get anything from fried clams and fried chicken to an ice cream sundae, and then top it all off with a round of mini-golf. Cool Cone, located on Route 6 on the Wareham-Marion line. Wareham House of Pizza has been serving Wareham and Marion for over 40 years with steak and cheese, pizza, and subs. Located in Shaw's Plaza, head on over for pickup or let them deliver to you.
The Beach House Grill at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is the perfect spot for a seaside lunch or evening clam bake. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Welcome back to Spillane Field just after the stretch. It's 5-1 in favor of the Gatemen. Jeff Belge back out to work. He's been pretty good so far for the Anglers. He's given up 2 earned runs, though. Or excuse me, one earned run, 2 runs, 3 hits. No walks, 3 strikeouts through the 9 batters that he's faced in 2 innings. Now we see a defensive substitution, Kyle McCann, who pinch hit. And now it seems like he popped right back out because Sable is still behind the plate.
Austin Wilhite's going to come in and play second base. Jorge Arenas was the original second baseman before Kyle McCann pinch hit for him, and now Kyle McCann's Georgia Tech teammate Wilhite will head out to second base.
And Wilhite struggling mightily this season offensively at the Cape. 0-1 to Collins. He's 0 for 11 with 10 strikeouts. Can you believe that? That's tough.
It's not great. I'm not going to lie to you.
The 0-1, right at the knees. Collins down quickly, 0-2. Belge gave up a single and a double, one to Shenton, one to Roscom respectively. Roscom was able to drive in his teammate from second base, his first RBI of the year. 0-2. Sable setting up outside, gets it there, but high, 1-2. Gatemen, as I'd mentioned earlier, host Hyannis here tomorrow. Our first look at the Harbor Hawks. That one inside, not by much though, but enough for the home plate umpire to call a called third strike, fourth strikeout of the day. First of the day for Collins though. Fourth of the day for Belge. Back-to-back strikeouts dating to the previous inning. Andrew Vaughn, the batter, 1 for 3 with that 2-run shot back in the first inning. Pop out and a ground out in the third and fifth respectively. And Thursday on the road against Bourne, Friday on the road against Orleans. Quick one back home against Brewster on Saturday. That one going to get down for a base hit. Might have been 2. But Torkelson able to cut it off in right center. Andrew Vaughn in there with his second base hit of the day. Make that 2 for 4 for the first baseman from Cal. This is a little more of what we're used to seeing from Andrew Vaughn. Multi-hit games.
I think the Gatemen might actually have the 2 best hitters in the Cape Cod Baseball League on their team.
There are only a few guys you can mention in that same breath. Yeah.
I think 1, 2, 3 right now from at least guys that we've seen. We obviously haven't seen the entire league. It's got to be Austin Shenton, Andrew Vaughn, and Spencer Torkelson. And then I think Tristan English is the 4th. These 2 teams are loaded offensively.
And the Gatemen pitching, that just goes to show you how good they have been, that they've stifled this Anglers lineup to just 3 hits and 1 run. I should say 0 for 2. He has that sacrifice fly, so an RBI as well. Those of you scorekeeping junkies, right? If you register a sacrifice fly, it does not count as an official at bat, but you do get an RBI out of it. The 1-1. Low, 2-1. The Gatemen to wrap up the week's schedule. 2:30 p.m. start time out at YD. Like you mentioned, JD, that field with no lights. So starting a doubleheader at 2:30 is of the utmost importance. Shooting to start game 2 of that by 5:30 before an off day on Monday. And those off days after doubleheaders are, we'll call them the sacred off days, but Katuitt not regarding them as such, as them and Bourne made up the game that got rained out in the second game of the season back on Wednesday the 13th. Made that up yesterday. And for the players, if no one else, you see why those off days are viewed as sacred. I mean, 7 games in 6 days, then you got to play another one when you're promised an off day, and then play another 7 games in 6 days. These aren't after doubleheaders. There aren't as many doubleheaders as we get into the later weeks of the Cape. All year, 3-1. Got him on the outside corner, ready to chuck his bat into the dugout was Bryant Packard. A little premature there. He's called back into the batter's box. 3-2, the count is full. 1 out, 1 on, 5-1 Gatemen. Just 6 outs away from securing a 6-2 record on the Cape and pushing the Anglers to 4-3-1. Belge sets, deals, that one up the middle, Backhanded by the shortstop over to first. He bobbled it in time for one, so that'll be a 6-3 put out. Brendan Fryman tried to make that a quick double play and had to backhand it as he went over to cover second base because Andrew Vaughn was off on the pitch. He's there safely. Bryant Packard put out at first. 2 down, man in scoring position for Lyle Lockhart Jr. 1 for 3 pair of strikeouts, but singled in the first.
From Houston.
But as Brendan Fryman stabbed down at it with his glove, he was able to keep it from going into center field, but really not a ton else. Fired over to first, got Packard at first, but Vaughn was well safe at second. Now with a chance to build onto this lead, here's Lyle Lockhart Jr. Looping breaking ball, does not get enough of the zone on the X-axis, if you will. A little too far inside to Lyle Lockhart Jr. With 2 outs, the 1-0. That one gets him right at the knees. Good hard fastball out of the hand of Belge. One. Hard ground ball up the middle. Backhanded by Wilhite across the diamond. Nice spinning throw to get Lyle Lockhart Jr. Comes in and does his job, the defensive substitution for the Anglers. A 4-3 put out. The Gatemen strand 1 and score 0. On to the top of the 8th we go. 5-1 Gatemen here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Beat the heat and join us at Waterways, a water experience unlike any other this side of the bridge. Open daily, head over to the water park on Route 28, the Cranberry Highway. Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. This special weekly celebration of Red Shirt Fridays is sponsored by 47 Brand, HP Hood, Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority, Advanced Embroidery, and the Cape League. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
For a nostalgic Cape Cod vacation experience, head to Bay Motor Inn, where guests are treated like family. Located in the heart of Buzzards Bay Village, this 1950-style cottage colony still provides you with up-to-date amenities. The Gatemen thank the Bay Motor Inn for their support.
Welcome back to Spillane Field, top of the 8th inning. Greg Jones will lead things off for the Chatham Anglers. Greg Jones, Brendan Fryman, Spencer Torkelson, 1, 2, 3 for a dangerous Chatham lineup that has not been terribly dangerous. Today, just 3 hits for the East leading Anglers. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error for the Chatham Anglers. 5 runs, 11 hits, no errors for the Gatemen. Like you said, JD, this is the offense that we're used to seeing out of these Gatemen, and maybe we've gotten a little spoiled with the offensive production we got, especially early on in the year. Set the bar pretty high, did the Gatemen, but they've done it on a relatively consistent basis. We know there's maybe a little bit of regression to the mean to go, or that might have happened after those first 4 wins of the season. Florence back to work from Hartford. Deals a ball away to Greg Jones. But it has been fun to see, and limiting the runners left on base, too. Just 6 on the day. A lot better than the double-digit numbers we saw early in the year. Jones waiting on the 2-0. Florence delivers. Just missed inside. 3-0.
If you're Nathan Florence here, just get yourself over with a fastball and settle back down in. You've had a good outing this far.
Get me over fastball. Does just that. 3-1. Infield straight up on Jones. Got him at the knees. Jones ready to chuck the bat into the dugout. 3-2. Now the full count offering lasers that one foul down the third baseline. One of those at-bats ended in a strikeout. The other one ended in a walk. And the one that didn't start like this, he singled back in the 6th inning, came around to score on the RBI single by Tristan English. Waiting on the second full count pitch of the at-bat. He'll get it here and shoot it straight back. We'll do it again.
Good fight from Greg Jones, but I think
got him at the knees. Good breaking ball. Retires Jones for the third strikeout of the day out of the hand of Nathan Florence. That one, of course, brought to you by Langix, Forrest, and Bullard. Gatemen pitching have racked up 9 strikeouts on the day today to just 3 walks. 1 earned run, 3 hits given up all day. What a day for the pitching staff.
incredibly impressive day, and we've talked a lot about this pitching staff for the Gatemen, how impressive it has been, and they continue to just blow through some of the best lineups in the Cape League. Much like the offense, they got a little bit stagnant toward the end of the week last week, but today between Ken Waldachuk and Nathan Florence, I continue to be impressed with the arms that the Gatemen have at their disposal.
John Rave now the pinch hitter for Brendan Fryman. Rave listed as an outfielder, Fryman the shortstop though, so maybe he's a little more defensive wizardry on the way for Chatham, or maybe some of these guys just listed as one position but can play multiple. You sometimes see that. The 1-0 inside, 2-0. Rave originally from Bloomington, Illinois, from Illinois State.
Seems unlikely we're going to see Rave at shortstop. He is a left-handed thrower. So we will see somebody else come in as a defensive replacement. That's the thing about this Chatham lineup is only 2 players are listed as outfielders for the Anglers.
It's weird.
Only Adam Fogel and John Rave, although Spencer Torkelson has been playing a lot of right field and has pretty much been the everyday right fielder for Chatham this season. But there are a lot of middle infielders available for Chatham, so we're likely to see Benny Wanger will likely be the next guy to come in and play shortstop, just because of the fact that every other infielder is in the game, whether that be in the infield or in the outfield.
Ball forward delivered. He lost him. Rave aboard.
Right fielder number 20, Spencer Torkelson.
With one out, here comes Spencer Torkelson. He's a guy who can, even though the Gatemen have dominated this whole game pretty much front to back, or at least as close to the back as we are, here with one out in the 8th inning, Torkelson with one swing of the bat can make it a 5-3 ball game, all of a sudden a lot more interesting. But a good hard fastball to make it 0-1 is a good way to ensure that you give yourself the best opportunity to not make that the case. Florence doing a good job for the most part of getting out early, putting these counts in his favor. 0-1 in the dirt. Roskin keeps it in front of him, 1-1.
I still like that breaking ball on 0-1 from Nathan Florence. If you get Spencer Torkelson to swing, he's not even making contact, and it's a pitch that really, what bat is he going to do aside from evening the count at a ball and a strike? I like the strategy here from Florence. As we mentioned, teams are kind of pitching around Torkelson at this point. We've seen the Gatemen pitch around him a little bit today. Walk, fielder's choice, hit by pitch. Now the count 2-1 to Spencer Torkelson, but you know, he's a dangerous hitter. What are you going to do?
And you're going to pitch around, and that's what you're going to do. Even the strike on the outside corner really was very well located by Florence. That's where you got to throw strikes to this kid. Hammers that one into left field. This could be trouble if it's fair, and it does land fair. It's going to roll to the wall. Around second into third is John Rave. They're going to send him home. No play at the plate. Actually, a close one. And it popped out of Roscom's glove. I thought initially Austin Shenton was just going to cut it off there. But instead, they fire it home, but to no avail. It pops out of Roscom's glove as a bang-bang play at home. And Torkelson with a rocket into left field makes it 5-2 Gatemen.
Can't give Spencer Torkelson something to hit because he will hit it, and he'll hit it a long way. Another extra base hit for Torkelson out of Arizona State. He'll be leaving in just a couple of days, though. One of the Team USA members, one of 3 on this Chatham roster.
Pinch hitter for the Anglers, now batting number 22, Penny Wanger from Yale.
Well, there goes your prediction.
Now Penny Wanger is going to come in and bat for Adam Fogel here. So I suppose what they're trying to do here, what I'm going to think is going to happen here, Rave is going to head out to left field, or Rave is going to head to center. Because right now, Greg Jones is playing center field for this Anglers team, but he's traditionally a shortstop. So what you could see is Rave to center field, Jones in to shortstop, and then you move Benny Wanger out to the outfield, the corner outfield position. A little bit perceived as a little bit easier a position to come in as a non-outfielder. So there's going to be some defensive juggling here for the Chatham Anglers in the next half inning. We'll just have to see exactly what comes about.
Torkelson sits at second. Wanger here waiting on the 2-0 pitch. He just finished up his junior year at Yale. His time is called. Jim Lawler will go out to the mound to discuss strategy. You can discuss investment strategy on your end with Joe Crespi from Merrill Lynch, who sponsors this trip to the mound. Just a pitcher-catcher deal, unlike the Don Sned meeting we saw earlier in the game. And just from the way Lawler's motioning his hands, it looks like he is talking mechanics. As Florence has been a little more inconsistent with his control.
He has been, but at the same time, you're still working with a 3-run lead. You don't want it to get much closer than this. I'd say you're almost, I don't want to say comfortable, but you're not nervous at a 3-run lead. You start to get a little bit wary when that lead heads down to about a 2-run lead. So if Florence can get out of this inning with just the 1 run across the board, I'd consider it a success for the right-hander.
He bounces back very nicely, delivers a strike at the knees, 2-1. Florence looks in, looks back, and looks in one more time. Inside, well placed, but 3-1.
I think Wanger did a pretty good job of selling that inside pitch. Bent himself out of the way. Not quite sure he had to do it there, but nonetheless, it's 3-1 to him.
Now here comes the 3-1. Shoots that one straight back, full count.
Good elevated fastball from Florence. Wanger was looking soft stuff there, it looked like, a little bit behind from for the left-hander from Yale.
Stott keeping tabs on Torkelson at second. Shuffling with him, shuffling back to his position. 3-2 pitch, he lost him. Breaking ball doesn't catch enough of the zone. And now out of nowhere, JD, kind of alluding to what you were saying, the game-tying run aboard, or not aboard rather, but at the plate. And of course, it's Tristan English. And we are going to have a pitching change as Jim Lawler points out to the bullpen. This pitching change is brought to you by the Bay Point Club, Onset's 18-hole championship golf course. But the driving range open 7 days a week and senior discounts offered every day and always welcome to the public. So go and get to the point. Pitching change here. We'll be right back on the Gatemen Baseball Network. We've got a good one here all of a sudden. Top 8, Gatemen lead by 3. But with 2 on and 1 out, the Anglers are threatening. Don't go anywhere. Listen to the Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
For a nostalgic Cape Cod vacation experience, head to Bay Motor Inn, where guests are treated like family. Located in the heart of Buzzards Bay Village, this 1950-style cottage colony still provides you with up-to-date amenities. The Gatemen thank the Bay Motor Inn for their support.
Located along the Cape Cod Canal, Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is the area's newest rental independent living, assisted living, and memory care community. With some of the area's largest apartments and an ultra-inclusive monthly service package, Keystone Place is a life-fulfilling retirement community unlike any other. Distinct assisted living and memory care programs provide personal care services according to each individual's needs. Discover Keystone Place, the best option for meeting the care and support needs of seniors on Cape Cod.
Clobbered high and deep to right center field, and this one is gone. A home run.
Eastern Propane and Oil is the Wareham Gatemen home run sponsor. Each time a home run is hit by a Gatemen player, Eastern Propane and Oil donates a camp scholarship to a deserving youth. Eastern Propane and Oil, we're in your neighborhood.
Welcome back. Post-pitching change, a new face on the Cape and a new face for the Gatemen. Tyler Ye wears number 55, 6 foot 190 right-hander. Originally out of Los Angeles, just finished up his sophomore year at Seattle University. And he will come in at a tough spot for the Gatemen. The two runners on are the responsibility of Nathan Florence, but the guy at bat, Tristan English, one of the better hitters in this Gatemen lineup, came in today batting .421. Already with an RBI to his name is who Ye has to deal with. 2 on, 1 out. Ye will deal with English here shortly. Up the middle, double play depth. The first pitch to English, swing and a miss. He got a piece of it as that one dribbled away from Roscom.
Ye coming in a big situation here. 2 runners on, neither of them his responsibility, as you mentioned, Henrique, but still, you've got to try to keep them from scoring here. Protecting a 3-run lead, Gatemen can add to it in the bottom half of the 8th, but like I said, 3 runs, pretty good. 2 runs, a little bit scary.
That was a pivotal place right here for Ye. Chops that one, foul down the third baseline. Shenton gave chase. But Ye doing a pretty good job right now. He's got English 0-2.
I'm a big fan of the waste pitch, but I think here when you got a good hitter 0-2, you got to be a little bit aggressive. Don't give him something to hit, but at the same time try to locate maybe a fastball on the outer half, something he's going to have a difficult time catching up with.
Now the 0-2 bounced it, and what a lip it hit as both runners will get over. Nothing Roscom could do about that one. That one bounced over his head. He dropped to his knees, tried to use his chest to his right, but that one bounced in a truly unimaginable way. And now the Gatemen could be in some trouble here.
Talked earlier in the game about Kyle Hurt missing a breaking ball just past that lip. I don't even think this one made it to the lip out of the hand of Tyler Ye. Not a great pitch from the right-hander.
The 1-2. Swinging a ground ball over to Stott. Gloves it. He's going to go across the diamond for 1. A run will score, though. So that's a 6-3 put out with an RBI. Ground out for Tristan English, his second of the day. 5-3 now for the Anglers, but with 2 outs and just 1 man aboard, I think the Gatemen are going to breathe a little bit easier, especially with English retired. But the freshman from USC, Ben Ramirez, stepping in right now. Despite him being 0 for 3 today, he is no slouch at the plate.
Now you're just 1 out away from still leaving this inning with a 2-run lead, and that's what you want.
Good first pitch, breaking ball low. Ramirez chased it. Brady Ye against the lefty. The 0-1. Swinging a chopper right side. Collins going to take it on a few hops. Gobbles it up. Over to first in time.
Founded in 1854,
we go to the bottom of the 8th inning from Spillane. 5-3 Gatemen on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Located along the Cape Cod Canal, Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is the area's newest rental independent living, assisted living, and memory care community. With some of the area's largest apartments and an ultra-inclusive monthly service package, Keystone Place is a life-fulfilling retirement community unlike any other. Distinct assisted living and memory care programs provide personal care services according to each individual's needs. Discover Keystone Place, the best option for meeting the care and support needs of seniors on Cape Cod.
Clobbered high and deep to right center field, and this one is gone. A home run.
Eastern Propane and Oil is the Wareham Gatemen home run sponsor. Each time a home run is hit by a Gatemen player, Eastern Propane and Oil donates a camp scholarship to a deserving youth. Eastern Propane and Oil, we're in your neighborhood.
The Gatemen would like to thank Wareham Country Market for helping to feed the Gatemen players and staff after games. They are located about a quarter of a mile from the field on Route 6, offering a convenience store, a Dunkin' Donuts, and a deli.
Welcome back, 5-3 Gatemen, bottom of the 8th inning. Gatemen trying to pad this 2-run lead that just keeps getting smaller and smaller incrementally as the innings go on. Strike at the knees to Austin Shenton, having himself an awesome day. Three for three to be exact. Jeff Belge back on the bump. That one shoots right back at us. Wakes myself, Enrique Demore, my broadcast partner, J.D. Rachi, right back up.
Cleaned off one of the poles here, it sounded like maybe.
That was loud.
That was a little scary, not going to lie. Looking down at my scorebook. Looking up now, though.
I got the plexiglass in front of us. We're feeling safe, though. 1-2 to Shenton. One hop, Jones playing second base. The shortstop now fires across the dot. We're out number one. So let's recap all these defensive, we'll call it shenanigans. Greg Jones moves from center field to shortstop. Ramirez still at third. Wilhite still at second. English still at first. Sable behind the plate. Torkelson still in right. Vanger indeed in left. Statistically speaking, an uncommon at bat. He registered it out. That's just how good he's been. Still 3 for 4 today, 2 runs scored, and still a .522 batting average. Bryson Stott bats now. 1 for 3, strikeout and a single. Find himself in a really good 3-0 count. It's been a back and forth affair, sort of. Well, maybe now back and forth, poor choice of words. It's been an interesting one here at Spillane. It was all Gatemen until last inning. A long 8th inning allowed the Anglers to claw back into this one. He scored 1 in the 6th and 2 in the 8th. That one at the knees as well, and now Bryson Stott all of a sudden. Jeff Belge pulling something right out of the Gatemen pitching manual, out of the Jim Lawler handbook. Get him to 3-0, surprise him with a full count, foul a couple pitches off, and see what you do from there, which is exactly what Stott did. 1 out, bases empty, 5-3 Gatemen with 1 out. The bases are empty for Stott. 3-2 pitch. Outside, he lost him. Stott does a good job of working the at-bat, working his way down to first base. Here comes Luke Roscom.
And Roscom stepped up in his last at-bat, delivered an RBI double. Let's see if he can do something similar here with Bryson Stott on it first. Stott has good speed, so if Roscom can maybe hit something into the gap, I'm looking at the left center and right center field gaps, mostly left center, a little bit deeper out here to left center field. If he can go opposite field power again like he did in his last at-bat, we could be looking at a 6-3 Gatemen lead.
And I think that would be exactly what Don Snedden and company would like. Roscom, 2 at-bats today. Has 3 RBIs. 2 RBIs today, 3 RBIs in his last 2 games. Knocked it on a fielder's choice in the 4th on that double in the 6th inning where he went opposite field. Belge sets. At first, Stott. The pitch. Rifles that one into right field, going to get down for a base hit. Luke Roscom using all parts of the ballpark today. Stott around second, going to try it into third easily. Runners at the corners. Luke Roscom's bat has come alive, ladies and gentlemen.
He's now 2 for 4 on the day, been on base 3 times. This is the kind of production you want out of Luke Roscom. He got off to a slow start between the exhibition games and the first couple of games of the season here in the Cape League, but Roscom has power. Had really good numbers at Nebraska as a freshman last year. Struggled a little bit this season, but now finding himself kind of creeping back into what he needs to do as a part of this Gatemen lineup. Could become the everyday catcher once Michael Amditas heads back to Miami for summer school, and then you've got Drew Millis as well, so kind of a bevy of possibilities for Don Snedden behind the plate.
1-0 the count to Skylar Hunter. Batting in an unfamiliar 9 spot. Turns out of the way of that one, but catches the inside part of the plate. 1-1. Runners at the corners, 1 out. The Gatemen have 5 today. 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 4th, 5th, and 6th each. 1 in the 6th, 2 in the 8th for the Gatemen, or for the Anglers, I should say.
One thing you don't want to do here if you're Skylar Hunter is ground into an inning-ending double play. You'd also theoretically not like to strike out. Just find a way to either reach base or score Bryson Stott from third in any way you can. That might get it done.
Lifts that one into right field. Making the catch is Torkelson, tagging. Play at the plate. Throw is on a hop and it won't get there. And running over to second is Luke Roscom. Some heads-up base running from the sophomore from Nebraska. And just like that, JD, prophetic as always, but Skylar Hunter able to get it in. And some lazy defending there by Sable allowed Roscom to get over to second.
I don't even know if it was lazy from Sable. I honestly think he didn't know the ball had left his glove.
Maybe that, yeah.
Because Jeff Belge had to point to the ball for Blake Sable for him to realize, oh, the ball is not in my glove. I better pick that up.
So another sac fly for the Gatemen makes it 6-3. 2 outs, runner on second base. That's Luke Roscom. And the guy at the plate, Jeremy Idens. 2 for 4 today, double, single, fly out, strikeout, and a run scored. That one skips down low, and it got a piece of Idens. I was going to say, if that didn't hit Idens, it must have snaked through his legs. But he's aboard. And his stat sheet looking all kinds of colorful today. Isaac Collins of Creighton steps in. Had a couple productive at-bats, singled, scored a run. All that happened in the 5th inning. Struck out looking in the 7th. A rarity for Mr. Collins. Inside 1-0. Pitch count climbing higher and higher and higher for Belge. 73rd pitch of the day for him coming up. In there, strike one.
It's a good take from Isaac Collins. Pitch down in the zone. Wouldn't have been able to do much with it. He's going to wait for a better pitch here from Jeff Belge. And as we've talked about many a time with Collins, incredibly disciplined, a good eye. Works at bats in the best way possible.
And we mentioned earlier, folks, how YD Stadium, due to the lack of lights, produces a lot of ties. Well, it's produced another one. Actually, it was just involving YD. My mistake. It was at Brewster, 4-4. Is the tie there. So that one's chopped down the line foul. So YD does have 2 ties on the season. They are 2, 4, and 2 with a torrid -14 run differential. But still, because of the ties giving you 1 point apiece in the standings, they sit in 3rd in the East Division standings. Sometimes my remark after this one would be baseball's a funny game, but this is the only league in which that happens, where you can have that kind of scenario and still sit in the middle of your division. Got him on the outside corner. Isaac Collins goes down looking. And the Gatemen strand 2, but they do score 1. They lead by 3. On to the top of the 9th we go. Last chance for the Anglers. They trail by 3 on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Gatemen would like to thank Wareham Country Market for helping to feed the Gatemen players and staff after games. They are located about a quarter of a mile from the field on Route 6, offering a convenience store, a Dunkin' Donuts, and a deli. At the intersection of Route 195 and 28, Wareham Crossing, home of Lowe's, Target, and Red Robin, is the sponsor of the Gatemen Intern Program. They help to provide a world-class internship experience in broadcasting, marketing, sports management, and baseball operations. Check out Wareham Crossing's schedule for this year's Summer Movie Night Series.
Make sure you sign your child up today for the Gatemen Robertson's GMC Youth Clinics. This year we have 5 one-week sessions for children 5 to 14. We also have 2 special sessions for hitting and pitching open to teens. Registration is available online at gatemen.org or through forms available at the merchandise booth.
Welcome back to Spillane Field. 6-3 is your score in favor of your hometown Gatemen. They lead it by 3 against the Chatham Anglers, who offensively have been stifled by Gatemen pitching. 4 hits for the Anglers, 3 runs on 4 hits, 2 errors, 6 runs, 12 hits, no errors for your Gatemen. It's been Ken Waldachuk, Nathan Florence, and Tyler Ye. Ye pitched out of a jam. Florence gave up 3 earned runs on 3 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts through 2 1/3 innings of work. Ken Waldachuk, dominant as always. Another day at the office for him. St. Mary's proud of continuing to do good work out here. Gave up just 1 hit on through 5 innings, I should say. 3 walks, 6 strikeouts through the 18 batters that he faced. It'll be Tyler Ye continuing his first appearance. Originally from Los Angeles, California, playing his ball at Seattle. Just finished up his sophomore year. He will face Kyle McCann, Blake Sable, and Colin Simpson. 7, 8, 9 for Chatham. Fouls that one off Luke Roscom's mask. 0-1. My apologies, that is Austin Wilhite. After all the substitution shenanigans, Wilhite is the batter. I mentioned how he's had a little bit of a tough go at it in his career on the Cape so far. Swing and a miss at that one, 0-2. 0 for 11 with 10 strikeouts. Has a walk to his name, though, so he has reached base. Having a really tough time adjusting to life on the Cape. He's going to send that one into deep center field. Back on it, though, is Idens. And he makes the catch, make that 0 for 12. 1 up, 1 down here in the 9th for Tyler Ye. Sable sends the first pitch he sees, chopped over to Andrew Vaughn. He'll take it himself. Ye working very efficiently as he steps on the bag. 2 up, 2 down.
Tyler Ye's come in, done a nice job. Got the final 2 outs of the inning in the last inning for the Gatemen. And now he's retired 4 in a row. As Colin Simpson strides in. He's 0 for 3 today. And it'd be very fitting if the Gatemen Nathan Flores got into a little bit of trouble a couple of different times, but overall I'd say he had a pretty nice outing despite the 3 earned runs.
Lifts that one into right center field. Going to be tough for Hunter, but it should do it. Reaches over and makes the catch. Tyler Ye is pumped, and the Gatemen move to 6-2 on the year with a 6-3 victory over the Chatham Anglers. It was all about the pitching. The offense showed up to play. The Anglers are stifled, and they head back home 4-3-1, but still retain their lead atop the East Division. A little bit of everything for the Gatemen today. JD, you started talking about it. Ken Waldachuk, Nathan Florence, and Tyler Ye put on a heck of an effort. Waldachuk was dominant. Florence did the job, and Tyler Ye came in and in his debut was able to shut down the Chatham Anglers offense. This is a team that came in today with a pretty good team batting average, but a lot of power. But no home runs today for the Chatham Anglers. Just 3 runs. We'll still keep them at the top of the league in terms of that. No stolen bases either. For the Anglers, they led the league coming into today, 12 of 16. And the Gatemen offense, who had been stagnant the last few games, came to play exploding for 6 runs on 12 hits. They walk away victors today. JD, any last thoughts from this one?
Really impressed with the Gatemen today. I like the addition of Lyle Lockhart and Jeremy Idens to the lineup. Both had good days. Austin Shenton continues to be the best average hitter in the league. And Andrew Vaughn continues to impress as well. This Gatemen lineup heading in an incredibly positive direction.
That'll do it for us up here. 6-3 victors are the Gatemen, like we said. We'll leave you here. For more post-game content, check out the Gatemen Baseball Network on YouTube. For my partner, J.D. Rachi, for everybody here involved with the production, our producers, Trevor Russo and Cam Gonsalves, for our sideline reporter, Mary Orders, for our GM, Andrew Lang, and everybody involved with the Gatemen organization, I've been Henrique Demore. Thank you so much for tuning into this edition of Gatemen Baseball. Again, your final from Spillane. Gatemen 6, Anglers 3. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great night.